Hi everybody and welcome to another very special Hobby Titans. I don't know any dwarf greetings, but if I did, I'd give you one today because we are doing all kinds of dwarf stuff. I'm okay with it, but the woman to my right is very excited about it.
Very excited.
Yeah, Kat is joining us, of course. Well, you're not really joining us, you are us. So I'm just as Actually, this is like the third or fourth week in a row now with you and me after like 2 months of not doing it.
Right, yeah.
I'm still shell-shocked. And frankly, speaking of shell-shocked, I am also shell-shocked from a lot of 40K Space Dwarves, but you're not.
No. Yeah. I'm excited. I was excited.
Yeah.
The moment it was like, hey, what are the plans?
Yeah,
Can these be the plans? I was like, I don't know what the plans were, but these are now the plans.
These are now the plans. Here's what's going on right now. As you folks know, Leagues of Votann are in like a perpetual kind of release situation right now. Mm-hmm. The only thing available remains the box set.
Yeah.
And James Workshop was kind enough to send us originally one, which we have painted up previously. Mostly Adrian did this. I helped a bit with the bases and a little bit of the painting. It was mostly his gig. And now they sent us 2 more boxes. Mm-hmm. So we have 2 of these, a grand total of 3 of these. And Leagues of Votann are on the horizon, and we want to be ready for it. So we are just painting these up. Kat and I are tasked here today with just kind of getting through as much of this as we can, at which point we will hand off to Adrian. I suppose there is an outside chance next week's Hobby Titan is more Leagues of Votann. I don't actually know.
I don't know.
But that's what we're doing today, Space Dwarves. Very curious what you guys are doing. As always, let us know, please. Otherwise, are we ready for this? Are we ready to paint some dwarves?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get creative, folks. Okay, here are our existing Leagues of Votann. Adrian whipped these up pretty quick. It is a pretty great job for how little time he spent on them, and I'll say it's a pretty great job for even beyond that. We went with the white and orange. A lot of people doing Votann in lighter colors. As we've talked about, we have really yet to see anybody paint lots of Votann with the helmets off. They're just too dang cute with the helmets on.
Yes.
We are not an exception to this rule, although some of the guys on the bikes, as you can see, are a little less helmeted. So,
and the characters don't have helmets.
The characters often don't have helmets, right? So this is what we're doing today. Let me kind of show you guys where we're at. What I have in front of me is a bunch of Space Dwarves that have been painted up to white. We're going to do this a little bit differently than Adrian did it. He masked, he did orange over the black, and then masked, and then did the white, and then unmasked. I think... We think that maybe for the amount of time and where we want it to be today, that might have taken too long. Believe it or not, this is one situation where Kat and I think that painting by hand will actually be quicker.
Yeah, I just thought it would be a lot to mask.
Yeah.
Like, even the smallest little bits, like 3 different things on, on them, and then doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to paint it. Now, we are trying a few different things because when we did it, it was a little brighter than what we currently have on the Votann, which makes sense. That happens. Airbrush is known for that. Plus, he's going orange over black. We're going orange over white.
Yeah.
So we're going to try a few different things, including, honestly, just a darker orange. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start there. That could be the easiest. We also have an orange wash that brings it. We tried that. That did bring it down a little bit. Maybe not still quite enough. And then the last step will be the one that puts us back in the realm of not saving as much time, which is that we'll go over with a darker color first, then go back over again with the orange.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not super concerned because there is a level of like weathering that goes on top of it as well too, and so. And
a dull coat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. Very, very interestingly, the orange Adrian used, you know the name of this paint, right, Kat?
Light rust?
Is it light rust?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But are you sure about that? You want to check the label?
Light rush.
Light rush.
Wow.
Yeah. That's weird, right?
Well, because mine is rust.
Wait. Is it the same color?
Yeah.
No.
It should be.
No, okay, is the barcode... The barcode is the same.
Yeah.
This has been solved.
Yes. I think honestly it's just a typo.
Is this a typo?
Yeah.
Oh man, we were like pretty sure it should be called light rust.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so now we know the real name of the paint. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to start off, you guys can see here, I'm going to actually start off by just showing you where we are in this process to start. And where that is we have, after priming them black, we primed them with, we basically took an AK neutral gray, right, Kat? It wasn't English gray, it was neutral.
It's neutral gray,
neutral.
yeah.
And what I like to do, actually, when I buy my AKs, I've been doing this a lot recently with layers, Citadel layer paint as well, because they're doing some stuff with the Citadel airline. I'm hoping that they're planning on re-releasing it. I think that's what ultimately they're gonna do, and line up colors with existing colors, who knows. But there are less colors than there used to be currently. It also can be weird to find it sometimes. I can't find Citadel Air. So what I've been doing a lot more recently, and to just get more colors, is when I buy paints, when I buy like a Citadel or an AK, I've been tending to buy 2 of them, if I can. And I like pour one of them into the other one a little bit more, as much as I can. And then I start loading thinner up into the other one. Because honestly, it's sort of how I like to paint anyway, is to have the same 2 paints, one thinner and one thicker.
Right.
One ready for an airbrush, one ready for a brush.
Right, because you've learned at this point that brush painting with air paint is not ideal.
Well, it can be. I still find it can be awesome, but it's not always ideal. You're right. Yeah. But there are certain circumstances where I still do it a lot. And honestly, also, the other cool thing about using air paint is that it's almost like along this step of being almost a wash. A good example is I've actually used like the Citadel Air bronze that they have over top of gold. So you do like a base of gold, and then you do like the bronze air paint over top of it, and it like just makes a different gold. It makes like a richer, bronzier gold, right?
A deeper gold.
Deeper gold, yeah.
Instead of yellow gold.
Yeah, it's actually similar to the thing people do with purple.
Yeah.
But it's a little less, it's a little browner. It's a little warmer than the purple, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of interesting. Been a thing I've been into. Kat, by contrast, will be working on
this singular dude.
Yeah, so she's gonna dive in and go deep on this one dude.
Yeah.
What do you got planned for this guy?
Well, right now I'm painting Pearl on top of his white armor, and I'm also trying to get him to match, at least like color scheme wise and like armor color placement.
Yeah.
With the other characters that are already painted up, which is why I have them right here. But I want to make them like a little bit more special. So I'm painting Pearl on top of where the white armor is going to be, and then I'll be painting everything else in, and then doing some just a bit more highlighting and a bit more like shadow, just a bit more contrast on things. Yeah. Because I really like taking my time on like
Space Force
dude.
Yeah.
But I can't do that on a bunch of infantry models, or I shouldn't do that on a bunch of infantry models, because then everything else has to be the same. So.
Right.
I picked a dude, and this is my dude. So.
Yeah. What I'm doing here is there's not a lot to show, really. What we did first was we after black, we did the neutral gray, as I mentioned. I used an AK one that I had thinned down a little bit, and then after that, we're going in here now with. This is actually Minotaur Snow White or Skull White. Mm-hmm. Almost any white kind of works. Adrian had used a Vallejo Air White, and we are finding that they're all kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean, when you're spraying them in lights, it's not like super the same, but it's also like we're gonna do like weathering and washing on top of everything else, and
right.
so it didn't. it didn't make too much of a difference.
Yeah.
And we had more of the Minotaur stuff than
Yeah.
we had of the Vallejo stuff. So, yeah, that's just what we did.
So, kind of curious in chat, who's painting space dwarves these days?
I know that someone earlier said that they were painting their Votann while we were painting our Votann.
Oh, fun.
So that's great. And
Yeah.
I love seeing, like, all the fan submission stuff of, like, all the Votann stuff.
Yes, we know.
There was less this week.
Oh, no. We're a little bit behind
Much
here.
to my disappointment, but
So
there were still a few.
Yeah, like they're in kind of this perpetual. They're in this like they're in what I like kind of like to call GW release limbo, where they do that thing where they're like, here's the box set, and here you get going with Votann, and here's all the other cool stuff coming out. I'm not sure if they've announced when that stuff is coming out yet. But it's somewhat apparent that it's soon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe folks in chat, you guys can let me know if they have announced an exact date on it. I honestly do not know. When like they've shown the vehicle, they've shown some of the other stuff. So we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. Yeah. Now this is helping me not spend money that I shouldn't. So it's great. I've wanted to paint these guys. Wasn't going to play with them necessarily. Or probably wasn't going to paint enough to be able to play with them.
Yeah.
Really. So it's great. It's scratching that itch.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad we could help. Okay, here's experiment number 1. I'm gonna actually, 1 second, I'm actually gonna grab one of the space dwarves from the back here. Okay, and orange over black versus orange over white are like two different animals. But we're gonna see if using this slightly darker orange, we can get something kind of similar. And I think we are gonna get that. This is a rare case. Like you can see how I'm putting just some pretty simple brush work. Honestly, their shoulder pads, which is what we did orange, are raised enough that they're like very much a straightforward striping situation.
Yeah, which is also one of the reasons why we thought that hand painting the orange in would honestly be faster than trying to mask 40 plus dudes.
Yeah, with the right brush, you get still a pretty good stripe, and just a steady hand, but not even that steady of a hand. So yeah, I think that this orange is the better pick. So this was, instead of light rust, actually it's called cadmium red. Cadmium red. Is that a typo too?
Cadmium?
Yeah, but it says, yeah, cadmium. Okay.
Yeah, so cadmium is
It's like a mineral or element or something, right?
It's actually like toxic, but I'm pretty sure there's none of that in there. But it's like a really old toxic ingredient that used to be in a bunch of paints, which is, I think a lot of people speculate why Van Gogh went kind of crazy.
Oh,
He was
right.
a notorious brush licker.
Oh,
so,
yeah, they've said that. Hey, is there another one of these over there I can
Yeah.
get? Thank you, Kat. Yeah, okay. That sounds like something I've heard before. Okay, so there's that. Now, I still a little brighter. I actually do just want to see how close I can get to matching what Adrian did with the orange over the black. Mm-hmm. And now I am still going to add the wash. Also, right. I still, by the way, consider 2 coats of paint to get the stripe less work than masking. I think I'd probably consider 3 coats less work. Honestly, short of something insane like 5 or 6, I think I'd kind of always consider less work.
No, what they use in glow-in-the-dark watches is like radium or rhodium or something like that. And that is radioactive. But no, it's not.
So how is what we're talking about spelled? Because Tea Time with Toby says Cadmium. Is that correct?
Probably.
Okay, because this is spelled Cadmiun.
Well, because
Is that another typo?
it's like aluminium and aluminum. They're the same thing, but they're spelled different.
Oh, the British do spell different?
Mm-hmm.
A case in Spain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're spelling things just like the British way.
Or European.
European,
yeah,
English,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That would be my assumption. I don't
Okay.
know. But that would be my assumption. Because
Okay.
not only do they spell it differently, but it is pronounced differently.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That checks out. Okay.
yeah.
All right. How you doing already here? Getting our first cat check-in here.
Yeah, well, I painted all the pearl, and I like it. It's very subtle. I don't know if Chad will be able to see that, but I like it a lot, honestly. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to paint the neutral gray, because neutral gray is what the pants are, right?
Correct.
So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to block in colors. So he's probably going to change pretty drastically in the next few minutes. I'm going to block in colors, and then I'm going to go in and shade. Now his cape is in the way, but we'll see how
His cape is in the way?
goes. Yeah, or really honestly, it's the base. I wish I would like to pop them off,
You can if you want. We eventually have to anyway.
but let's see if I can do it without ruining everything.
I felt like when I started to try on one, because we had no, how does it feel? Feels like plastic? Does it feel like? I gave mine a little bit of a try, and I thought it was feeling like super glue, not plastic glue.
I don't know.
It feels like plastic. Like it's not popping off.
It's either plastic glue or they used a lot of super glue.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well,
it's okay.
that'll be interesting when I go to do the bases next week.
Yeah. I even took off some of the white paint. Yeah. It wasn't
On the
going.
rock, though?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No, he's fine. He's fine. But the rock's not. But it's okay. The rock's not going to be white. So I guess we'll see. I mean, at least on this guy, it's not going to be too bad when you do the base. Because he is elevated on the rock. But that is something. Because, yeah, no one in the studio built these, right?
No.
These are outsourced.
We have a high school kid who we actually pay to do this, who's the son of a friend of Adrian's.
I see.
And mostly because it's not appealing for any of us to do it,
Yeah.
as you can imagine.
I think I can.
So, yeah.
So have you played with these guys yet?
I have played against them.
How do they feel being played against?
Well, I played against them before they had their fixings, the fixes, and it was pretty ridiculous.
Point fixes?
Yeah, all kinds of things, yeah. They got a little more expensive, they got a little less good. They're still pretty good. It felt pretty insane. It was over in about 2 turns. And I don't think I did anything to Bridger, who was playing, and I think my entire army was wiped out.
Oh no.
Except for maybe like one, I think I had a character left or something. So yeah, it felt kind of silly. We knew going into the game that it was like, we were kind of talking, we played 2 games when they first came out. We played 2 games. One, Adrian played Bridger with Harlequins, and they are, they're a pretty good matchup for them, actually, weirdly. And I played against them with Chaos Space Marines, my Alpha Legion. And we were kind of just like looking at things as the game was happening, and or before the game was happening, we were just like looking at numbers and just like looking at things, and we were like, oh yeah, this isn't going to work. this game's not going to work.
It's
like,
not gonna be
yeah,
fair.
you could kind of just tell.
Yeah.
And there's a couple situations I had where maybe had I made made a charge somewhere or done something, like rolled a particular thing that maybe I could have made it at least a little bit interesting, but those didn't even happen. So, so here we are.
Regardless, it would have been a tabling either way, even if you had done that.
I think so. It just would have been delayed.
Right.
Just a delayed tabling, you know? Okay, so I did find out the
But
formula.
still inevitable.
Kat, I found out, I
Yes.
think, what we need to do.
Okay.
And ultimately, I actually like this look a lot on the streaks, on the orange. So the best thing is to do a dark gray,
Okay.
then do your gray, and then do the light gray. I think that
That sounds like a bunch of gray.
Oh, sorry. Those second two times I said gray, I meant orange.
Orange. Okay, so do the neutral gray or the dark gray?
Dark.
So you're using lead gray?
I'm using this Eshin gray, which is a color I'm not even sure they make anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's like
and then
Mechanica
cadmium
standard.
red,
And
and then
AK cadmium
light-
red.
rush, or rust.
Light rush or rust. Your call. And that is a pretty close match. And listen, folks, I'm still going to say, Adrian may disagree with me, but I'm still going to say, I'd prefer to do these 3 thin coats to make the stripe than do the masking.
Yeah, well, because the thing with masking is if you mess it up, like especially with white, that's such a pain to go and try and fix.
Yeah, it's not great for mistakes, but and he wasn't too worried. To his point, he wasn't too worried about because you just weather around that, right? Which is nice. But I still don't want to. It's still just a tight mask, right? Eshin Gray, yeah, it might be Michael Cody. You're probably right. They probably do still make Eshin Gray. I haven't used it in a while. I feel like it's maybe like a little bit less dark than Mechanica's standard gray, but not like enough to be wowie wow, like different, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if they got rid of any layers. I know they got rid of a lot of air paints.
Well, I think I've had this. I guess the reason I was curious if they even still made it is because I haven't used Eshin Gray for so long. I wasn't like sure if it was one of those paints where it was like I had it from another
Another era.
generation,
Yeah.
another era ago. If it seems like how it is in the bottle seems like it's actually maybe not that old. Maybe I'm wrong. It might be only like a year old or something. I can't remember when I would have bought this last. Well, very curious, as always, to hear what folks at home are working on. We do have fan stuff to get to. But we wanted to kick off. We like to do our little top 10s and our top 5s. Today, we thought we'd celebrate all things dwarf, and we came in and we said, should we do a top 5 dwarf list? And we sort of realized that would be actually hard to do.
I think it would be disingenuous because I don't think either one of us knows
It'd be disingenuous.
5.
Disingenuous is the right
Yeah.
word. Yeah.
Yeah. So we picked 2.
We picked one each, and then we realized that, of course, both of them would be from
Tolkien.
Tolkien, right? So after that, we were like, okay, let's do this. Let's pick a Tolkien dwarf from that universe, and then let's pick a dwarf from some other universe, right? Or dwarves, like kind of like collectively, right?
Yeah.
So that was the move. Let's see who's up first. Looks like it's me. Okay, my favorite Tolkien dwarf, Thorin Oakenshield. Definitely one of my favorite characters in any of the Tolkien movies. I know part of the problem with Tolkien or Thorin Oakenshield for a lot of people is that people think he is kind of a pain in the butt and sort of a drama queen. The whole Hobbit the whole Hobbit trilogy. And I think to that response, I'd say yes, he is. He's really kind of one of the only tragic characters in in the trilogy. I think he's kind of like the central tragic character and just really goes through a lot. So I'm a big fan of Thorin. I do. I think the actor does a really cool job. His scenes are great. I love all of his scenes with Bilbo. It's one of my favorite things. You guys know I'm a big fan of the Hobbit trilogy, which I know I get a lot of flack for. But I think cool portrayal, cool dwarf.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I like the Hobbit trilogy. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I do think it's completely insane that you like it more than the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Well, I do. I definitely do like it more. But I'm not even sure on air I've ever necessarily said that I think it's better. Even I just like it more. It's way more fun. It's just more fun.
Are you sure you've never said that it was better?
I don't know. The CGI is better, that's for sure. And a lot of people like to pretend that they hate CGI, but really they don't. That's a hot take.
I mean, good CGI is good CGI. I really like practical effects when they're done well. I think there's a lot of skill behind that. I mean, not to say that there's not a lot of skill behind CGI, but from I guess, I don't know, I like it. It can be said either way. Like a good director can incorporate practical effects and really good CGI as well.
I think so.
I think a lot of times some directors rely on CGI a little bit too much. Where it's like, did that really need to be a post-production thing, or could you have just made a really cool prop? But, you know.
I almost never feel like I actually know the answer to that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know the industry well enough to know what the answer actually is. And my guess is sometimes the answer might surprise. One might be surprised by the answer. Like, nope, it turns out it is cheaper to CGI that. You know what I mean? I guess I'm just saying I'm not confident that I know the answer to that question.
That's fair. And I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Okay, what's your other...
Okay, well, actually, I thought we would do your Tolkien dwarf first.
Yeah, mine's Gimli.
Gimli.
One, because he's really kind of the only prominent dwarf in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But two, I just feel like we have a lot in common. He's always ready to fight. He's always really angry. And yeah, he has a really cool axe. And that's me in a nutshell. So I think that's really great.
I have to say that I have some problems with Gimli. You know, the other day, I know this is a thing now. I haven't seen one until it just happened now. Megan and I watched Aladdin over the weekend. And at the beginning of Aladdin now, they have like a warning about like depictions of other cultures and stuff. I actually think they should go back and put this in for Lord of the Rings, because I feel like Gimli is sort of a problematic dwarf. He's kind of just like, he's never serious. He's always just like making a joke. He's just like such a stereotype of a dwarf, I feel like. I feel like Gimli, I know that dwarves aren't real people, so we don't actually have to do this. But I just feel like Gimli is just like after you watch The Hobbit and they dive deeper into the dwarves, right? Which again, The Hobbit is also crazy, like, right? But they do show more emotions, and there aren't really many emotions depicted by Gimli throughout the trilogy, right? He's complaining about all the running. He's not wanting to get thrown until the one time he gets thrown. He's having this like quarrel with this like cute friendly quarrel with Legolas. But like Legolas, if you look at Legolas's scenes, he has so much more in-depth scenes with Aragorn and stuff like that than Gimli does.
I think you need to rewatch the movie.
I have seen the movie plenty of times.
I think you need to rewatch the movies. Because there's the whole... Have you watched the extended edition?
Of course.
Then there's the whole thing where he gets the 3 hairs and he's like so awestruck. And that was the cutest thing. And I don't know. And then the whole touching moment where it's like, I never thought I'd die side by side with an elf.
Yeah.
And then he's like about to cry because
Yeah. There's a couple, but I honestly think that Gimli is sort of like it's a strong word in a fictional universe, but he's like a problematic depiction of a dwarf for me.
Honestly, I think that you just like how moody and broody a Thorin Oakenshield is, and you're like, no, this is a dwarf, and you look at Gimli and like, not my dwarf. But they're so rambunctious in the beginning of The Hobbit, and that's what they are.
Well, yeah, but even like there's also, I don't know, there's the there's, oh my gosh, why am I other dwarves too in The Hobbit that have like different personalities and go through things. I know everybody hates the relationship between Evangeline Lilly.
That didn't exist?
Yeah, and I can't remember the character's name now. His two nephew, his youngest nephew. But that wasn't in the actual book. Yes, I know. But like it's just like, I don't know, a little more stuff happens, and every dwarf. Also, here's what's cool: every dwarf has like a different relationship with Bilbo too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, but Gimli's the only dwarf one of the only dwarves in Lord of the Rings. The only time you ever see any other dwarves is either they're dead or
the Fellowship there.
The very beginning, yeah, and that's it. And I don't think any of them actually have more than like one or two lines if they talk. I feel like I need to rewatch this. But yeah, he's the only one. I feel like you're just hating on him because that's his personality. And you're like, oh, this is all typical. Like, I feel like you're lumping all of them in to one group.
Maybe. I either way, it's not the biggest deal, but I just feel like after watching The Hobbit a couple times, then going back and watching Lord of the Rings like one of the first times after, I definitely felt like I was like, oh, this is just like a weird depiction of him. So the book, right?
Interesting. I think he's missing a piece of his cape.
Is he?
Yeah, so like it's supposed to drape down here, but it doesn't. There's nothing here. So.
We have that guy.
Who's missing a head.
We have him. We have the real one. I mean, not the real one, but the other one. Is that him? Does he have the cape on both sides?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Have fun.
Thanks.
I'm not sure. I'm just going to say have fun. Okay, well, anyway, I do respect your choice for a favorite dwarf. I do respect your dwarf. Bryce, no, I can't name all 13. Weirdly, right now, I can't even name...
like more than two.
No, not even that. Like one, other than Thorin.
Like even Gimli's father.
Yeah, his name, I don't even remember his name. I remember like none of their names right now, literally.
It's okay.
Feely and Keely. Okay, there you go. There's two of them. Feely and Keely, and they're, yeah. So no, Bryce, 3. Okay, now, so Thorin Oakenshield is my first one, but my non-dwarf, I picked my non-token dwarf, I picked Grumpy. And I thought hard about the different 7 dwarves from Snow White and which one I liked. Something's up with Dopey.
Something's up?
Yeah, I thought about Dopey, but I was like, I don't know if that's a good dwarf to pick.
Okay.
So
you wanted Sneezy.
I did think about Sneezy, but then I kind of was like, you know what? Sneezing is fun when you need to do it. And like you get a good sneeze, it feels very good. But also, Sneezy is like in a perpetual state of sneezing, and that's like actually torture. So he's basically a walking thrall to torture, to complete and utter biological torture. And maybe the tragic character of Snow White and the 7 Dwarves in that regard.
Right.
Because that would be a miserable existence. And then I felt like I didn't want to celebrate that. So I settled with Grumpy. And then I thought about Doc, but then I was like, well, what is Doc's deal? Like, really, right? Like, what does Doc actually do?
What is he up to?
He's in charge, but like, why, you know?
Who put him in charge?
Who put Doc in charge, really, right? So probably Doc is my guess. So I ultimately ended up with Grumpy, because Grumpy does at least challenge the system, which I appreciate.
Okay.
And you see him there with his pickaxe. He's a hard worker. I guess they all are. That is in general a dwarf trait, right? Kind of like hardworking folk. So I went with Grumpy. Okay, I actually forget what you picked for yours.
Yeah.
You picked. Oh, I know what you picked. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's Gimli again. And you picked these guys.
Yeah.
Tell us who these guys are.
These are the Dwagholm from Conquest. And I've talked about how much I like Conquest a lot, but one of the things that really made me like it so much is, one, I like the gameplay of it, but two, the lore is fantastic. These guys were created and then enslaved by dragons to mine the mountains so that the dragons could have all their shinies.
Mm-hmm. Dragons are bad in Conquest? Or they're good and bad dragons?
They're not really like good or bad. They just are. They're one of the powerful forces on Ea that can create life and can use magic and stuff. And they're not necessarily evil. They may have a skewed like sense of morality.
They may occasionally enslave a race.
Well, they created them. They created them to do the job that they do, but they also were like lazy about it as well too. They didn't want to have to spend time training them, and so they instilled a inherited sense of understanding. Those of you guys who've read Children of Time will know what I'm talking about. But they inherit their knowledge base when they like reproduce and stuff. So they don't have to be taught how to do the jobs that they were essentially made and created to do. However, this passed on history then resulted in them remembering every single wrongdoing that was ever done to them. Mm-hmm. And so that then turned into them rebelling against the dragons and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, they also freed a evil like entity, which gave them the power to override the dragons and stuff. Now the thing with Conquest is that there's not really like set good or evil. They all have their own reasons for doing what they do. But the core of the Dwagholm is now Conquest. And so a lot of times in the lore and stuff, they're depicted as the quote unquote bad guys. But there's like reasons behind why they're doing what they're doing. And so is it really truly like, it's not out of like evilness or whatever.
I see.
It's vengeance. It's wanting essentially what they never had, what they feel like they deserve.
I don't know. This sounds interesting. I think we're really close to a cat hot take. I know I would probably get raked over the coals for dancing around evil with vengeance as a motivator.
Right.
And they're not actually evil. They just want vengeance.
Yeah, but
and
it's
what they've never had. So greed and vengeance.
It's also
so basically
freedom as
envy,
well too.
Envy, greed, and vengeance motivated.
It's vengeance
and wanting
it's
freedom.
It's conquest. It's
Conquest, another good one. Yeah. Okay. Look.
Yeah.
Who am I to judge?
Right.
You know, Cat's definition of evil. But it is interesting. I will say that. Yeah, I think that's good. I like, for me that's kind of a factor. As long as we're talking about different universes, something that has always sort of made me less excited about the Star Wars universe in particular, and even to some degree the Tolkien universe, but is just the way that good and evil are so clearly defined and like laid out for you, and it's like this is just realities, right? Like,
Right.
and for me, I've always sort of liked that about the 40K universe, which is we say it's grim dark. It's almost like everything's evil, but also again, like there's motivations right behind everything, and the collective memory of the universe remembers the bad more than the good, and that's how you get kind of the setting right. Mm-hmm. And so you end up with like really lots of different evil factions to pick from. Sounds like Conquest is similar in this regard, and or at least motivations are made more clear as opposed to like this is just good or this is just evil.
Yeah, like there's a ton of different factions, and the history of Conquest and of the world is so rich, where like there's the Spire, which are the alien race, and it's like you would think like, oh, they're evil because they didn't belong on that world to begin with, whatever. But there are reasons why they did what they did. Now there are like evil Spire, there are evil dwarf, there are evil like humans, there are stuff like that. But as a race as a whole, they're I don't think you can ever truly define them as like evil. So yeah, they also are enhanced by a like essentially entity that's made up of like rage. So that's where they get their power from.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. How's your painting going?
It's okay.
Should we get a little check in on you?
I wish I could take his cape off, but we're all good.
Yeah.
I'm just blocking in colors right now. Still, I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to have to paint back over this white.
Yeah. Definitely not, right? Painting over white, annoying. Like, what we're saying is like, get white and go back over things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole thing, but
it's a whole thing. You almost for sure are gonna do like a little bit of airbrush during that process. And like then have to clean up around that even. If you have to go, that's usually what I tend to find is the best way to clean up white. Is like typically I'm doing it with an airbrush. I think you get like the best coverage. But it depends on how much, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's not really an option.
Yeah, I just tend to paint like a blue and then do a white. I can't ever go
just like
back
build
in
back
with,
up, just start like building back up basically. Yeah.
So yeah, I get it, chat. A lot of like Horus did nothing wrong. There's a big difference between like being kind of controlled by an evil entity and then being truly evil. But I don't know. It's hard to say like what the dragons did was evil. I mean, now, yeah, in retrospect, right, they enslaved an entire race, but they also created them to do something. And also now they themselves are enslaved by the dwarf. So I don't know.
So it sounds like everybody's kind of a jerk.
Oh, for sure.
This is similar, honestly. Yeah, it's kind of similar. That's kind of like the relationship between Necrons and their gods and the kind of turnabout they had. And yeah, it's compelling stuff. And to be fair, I probably just don't know Star Wars lore enough to know that it's not just like truly just good guys, bad guys. And of course, obviously, the dark side, people always have motivations, it seems like.
Well, only Sith deal in absolutes. So actually, according to the Jedi, there are no, except for Sith, truly like good people. It was also this thing of like, you can use evil means to do good things, and I don't know. It's just it's very like gray in that, which I like. It gives more depth to things because I don't think like in real life people like are only ever truly evil or good or whatever. Yeah, I like it. Anyway, Conquest lore, it's fantastic. So yeah, the Dogum are really cool. They're not my favorite race in Conquest, but they're pretty neat.
Yeah, I know. Back in January, that's I painted one of them up. One of the hero guys.
The flame.
Yeah.
Berserker, I think.
Yeah, it's cool.
You painted him, I think, icy.
I did like an icy take on it. Yeah. Which would be kind of cool. Yeah, I think dwarves are fun to paint. I'm glad that there is finally a true dwarf depiction in 40K. We've gone a long time without one, really. I'm glad that the army is now a thing and well-defined, and the lore is...
They're getting some attention.
Yeah, the lore is a thing and well-defined. So yeah, very, very, very excited for that. Even though I probably won't ever play the army myself, I'm glad they exist. There's certainly a lot of other armies like that already in all the systems I play that don't appeal to my playstyle, but I'm like glad they're out there, glad they're in the lore. You know, you get it.
Yeah.
So, Kat, what else are you working on these days?
Smaug.
Oh yeah.
Mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am trying to film like the entire process. So I'm working on that. But other than that,
the
just
building,
like,
the building of him, right?
Yeah. His painting will be left to Meg for sure. But
he's being built.
He is being built, and that is a massive.
Yeah. What makes Smaug hard to build? Like what's the story? There's a couple blogs on it out there. I don't know if there's a YouTube video or not, or but I'm kind of curious what is going on with Smaug and building him.
Well,
without giving too much away.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why. Like, I don't think anything would be a spoiler, really. There are some casting issues on him. There's some, like, stuff where you can tell that the mold is kind of, like, degraded. And so there's, like, extra pieces of resin where I really don't want extra pieces of resin. The other thing is that the entirety of Smaug is textured in like a little scale texture, and so any gap filling that needs to be done, that texture needs to be put back in as well too. So that is a major thing. The other thing is that the way that he is his wings cover the majority of his body, and so I don't want to put them on yet.
Oh, right.
We got to get his body painted.
Yeah.
And then I have to go back in, sculpt around that, and then that needs to be repainted.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. But yeah, there's like some air bubbles on him. There's some huge gaps where, you know, the larger pieces go together. But I think for me, the thing that is the most frustrating is that there's gaps on the small pieces.
Oh, interesting.
And like there shouldn't have to be, or there shouldn't really be, because like with smaller resin pieces, it's you can get a much lesser degree of variability when you are casting them. But I'm not sure if it's like where the smaller pieces are going into the bigger pieces that there's like bigger issues or whatever, or maybe they have made several different molds throughout the years And this is just kind of what it's turned into at a certain point. I'm not entirely sure. He just takes a lot of work. And then each and every single little piece I have to go over with like a fine tooth comb. I asked Meg, how perfect do you want him to be? And she said perfect. So I will make him perfect.
How perfect do you want him to be? Perfect.
Okay. But yeah, like I'm sure of the Forge-World pieces that I've seen, he's not bad. Honestly, there's no piece that's like majorly warped on him. I don't have to go in and like heat treat him and then bend him back into shape or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just like I think he's a really old mold. And
they can't be redoing that one that often, right? They can't. They can't be running through. They can't be cranking out too many of him. It's interesting too. Like he's not really sold as Forge World, right?
Wait, is he not?
No, he's just regular Games Workshop.
Oh, okay.
My guess is.
But he is Forge World, right?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that means, right? Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean?
Is he from Forge World's workshop?
Yeah, I don't even know how they do that anymore. Like, I've no sense of that. They've connected the two more. You know.
I see.
So I don't really know. Like, is it branding? What is it really? Right.
I see.
Are there other? If you go to Forge World sites, do they have a lot of Lord of the Rings models there?
No, because also Forge World really only has like one or two things for each, unless it's Space Marines. But one or two things of each army.
I mean, they have a ton of Tau stuff.
Oh, okay.
They've like leaned into some more than others over the years, and I don't really know what that means. Like when saying. Something. Yeah, I mean, I kind of know, like, typically I associate it with, in 40K, it usually means that the unit is really bad in the game or, like, obviously incorrectly good.
Okay.
Almost always one way or the other. And Sigmar, always very bad. Makes, like, no sense with the rest. Like, the rules context is weird. Relationship is weird. But I don't understand. I just don't understand like the relationship really between Games Workshop and Forge World. It seems like a weird branding thing, and I sort of wonder if that's why. I don't know if anybody knows. Do they have? If you go there and type like and look up Middle Earth, do they have a lot of Middle Earth models in Forge World? I actually don't know. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, because it seems like confusing branding that people who are like into Games Workshop would get behind. But like if you were just like, cool, I want to go get a Smaug model. It's like, wait, the company that makes the game is called Games Workshop, but the company that makes the models called Forge World. You know what I mean? Like, it becomes like it becomes like a weird situation if you're not like a hardcore gaming person, like into Games Workshop and know what's going on.
From what I have heard from other people who have done a bunch of Forge World stuff, he's not the worst. To be fair, he's not the worst. Like he's not warped or anything like that, but there is like anything that joins together needs to be resculpted around where it's joined. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's annoying though.
And then there's a couple like he has little spines on the ends of all of his wings, and like one of them had like a air bubble like right in the middle of it. So,
oh, okay.
I had to be super careful with that. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just he's a huge model, and with any resin kit, like with any mass-produced resin kit, you're gonna have some issues. So
yeah,
but it's fun, in its own way. But I do have to take breaks.
You know, we on Tabletop Titans we now have a show for members only on Fridays where we are playing different games. At some point, we will probably play Lord of the Rings there. I guess I have to start anticipating what is going to go up against Smaug, how that's going to work. I need to learn the game,
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of us in the studio have ever played the game or know anything about it. I've heard the rule set is really good. I've heard people think it's one of GW's best rule sets.
Interesting.
yeah,
Wow. Those are bold claims.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious if that's the case. Where many of us are interested in learning it. It's an interesting game. It even at its best, one of the issues and one of the reasons we start that Friday show is to play games that aren't as popular. And the problem with these games meeting YouTube and trying to get people to watch your channel is that even in a great situation, people get really excited about games and you get a lot of like small vocal fan bases, and you run a game and you get a tenth of the views you would from just running like a basic 40K game. It's like, well, that's why we don't put a lot of effort into painting up 2 armies for another game and then playing it. But to be fair, that's kind of the Friday show is meant to over time alleviate that. So I guess he's got to play against good guys. I do have a bunch of Rohan. They'll be fun to paint.
Yeah, and at least Smaug is his own army.
Yeah,
So.
and of course then we get into a second problem though, which is like we actually really that really can't be the first Lord of the Rings game we play, right? Like we have to play another Lord of the Rings game first, and then play again with like 2 more armies, and then play Smaug. Like he can't. It's just it's gonna be. My understanding is he's a lot of an army or close to a whole army himself.
I think he's a whole army himself.
Is he a whole army himself?
That's what I've
Do
heard.
any Lord of the Rings people know if he is a whole army himself?
Because who would fight with him?
Well, they're kind of divided up largely into just good guys versus bad guys in that game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like orcs.
Well,
Or
yeah.
Urukai.
Yeah. And I think that's not exactly what they're called. And then there are different armies within there. Like, of course, obviously, right? You can't just take a good guy army and put any good guys in there you want. But to some extent, I know it's broken up that way, basically. Yeah. Michael Cody, thank you for the super chat. Michael Cody says, "Everyone have a week so good that you have the delusional self-confidence of Forge World to charge those prices for that quality." Yeah, I agree. I've never been really that understanding of Forge World as a concept. As a Tau player, I love the Tau things, and I have to say that none of the kits I really ever got for Tau were bad.
Okay.
Likewise, Thousand Suns and Heresy, I've said before, the robot guys they have were awesome kits. I got the special sword Thousand Sun guys; those kits were great. All the kits I got for Heresy that were newer were great. The newer Forge World, but I know I've talked before about my Storm Eagle and how I'm never gonna do anything with it again. Like maybe I'll pay somebody to do something with it, but I myself personally am like not interested in interacting with that model.
I see.
So I've never quite got the appeal of Forge World. I know Heresy people were just like into it because it represented the Horus Heresy, like it was for the longest time how you played the Horus Heresy, right?
Right, but now we have...
Well, we're starting to have plastic, right? Yeah. And so... Yeah, Michael Cody, I don't know. And Forge World's weird, too, because, like, honestly, Michael Cody, it's interesting. I forget how much 2 Tetras were when I bought them. But I remember being like, oh, that makes sense. Like, that's an okay price. Like, based on how much other Games Workshop stuff is, right?
Right.
Which, because they're made in England and not China largely, I'm pretty happy with paying that price. So, like, if something's made by people who have, like, 8-hour work days and, that's the price you pay, right, for human dignity. So I'm, like, very happy to pay those prices. But the point is that I remember Forge World being like, wow, that's, like, not that much more expensive for the Tetris, but other things, to his point, are insane. It's like, what are they thinking? Like, how is that possible, right? Like, how's this unit over on their plastic side of Games Workshop costs this much, and over here it's this much. A good example of that is, oh my God, like just pricing out a Solar Auxiliary army from Horus Heresy is just like, when you see that army show up, it's just like, well, I guess that person really saved up their hobby budget there. I don't know, it's crazy. Like,
right, or like,
yeah.
Like the Warlord Titans and stuff like that.
Yeah, for them, I'm like, that same, right? Yeah, exactly. But I've often kind of felt like Games Workshop probably, for those types of things, almost knows that that's like, it's like a hobby epic goal for people, and they can probably almost even charge like a premium or like a Tau Manta, right? Like the really big one. I feel like it's sort of a thing that they know they can be like, well, look, we can charge, $800 for this model. Someone's going to pay it, and we're going to wait for them to pay it before we make it. So, like, who cares, I guess that's kind of how Smaug is too, honestly.
Yeah. Because, like, do you need him to play Lord of the Rings? No. Is he a really cool model? Yes. Yes. And honestly, it's been fun putting him together. As much as I'm like, oh, he's a big project. He's a big project, for sure. But it's been really fun challenging myself to, like, get it to be as perfect as, like, I think he deserves. Mm-hmm. And then it makes me look back on, like, other painted Smaug that I've seen, and I'm like, oh, because now that I'm putting them together, I know where the problem areas are, or at least on this sculpt or this pool. I know where the problem areas are, and so I'm going to look at that when I see a Smaug in person and be like, ooh, yeah, they did a really good job of hiding this, or, oh, I can still see this. So
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. How are you doing?
I'm finding, is it white, like a little glossy?
It's like satin or something, huh?
Yeah, I'm finding that it's like a little hard to paint over. So I'm having to put like multiple coats.
Yeah, it's wanting same thing. Yeah.
So.
And it's satin will on the look side and the end product. I'm not worried about it because when we varnish them, right? When we dull coat them, it'll be fine.
Right.
But you're right. It is. Are you using?
Yeah. So I'm sorry that his face looks really gross, but I'm trying to put a layer of AK Black Red on. So that I can start painting his skin, but I need that layer to be smooth and even. So I let it dry, and I'll go back in a second.
Yeah, I guess to be fair, I'm not sure I've ever actually painted over Minotaur Snow White.
Yeah, I mean, it's white, and so it's usually the last step, but...
Right, exactly, right.
Yeah, he's definitely missing a part of his cape.
That's not good, because I don't really think I got any extra bits in this box that was passed off to me. So maybe there's somewhere else, I don't know, we'll see. Again, anything we do is helpful. These guys will be on Tabletop Titans soon. One of our 40K games for sure. And then often. They have a whole slew of models coming out. Does anybody know in chat, have they said when the rest of the Votann stuff is coming out? Or are they still in like release limbo? Let me know if you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't come out with separate boxes yet, because they've done a lot of stuff recently for 30K. Mm-hmm. Where they did the Age of Darkness boxes, and then almost like the week after, they're like, well, here's everything in the Age of Darkness boxes, but separately.
Right.
And that's usually how they do stuff. So I'm surprised that the Votann boxes are still the only thing that is currently available right now. So, yeah. But I do know that they were teasing these guys like all summer.
Yeah, of course, right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they waited a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Maybe make them like a holiday release or something.
Yeah. People are excited for their space dwarves, even after getting toned down.
They're still cool though. They're still cool. They're really cool models. I'm enjoying painting it. So yeah, and I don't know. I think would benefit a lot from like a recess wash, but you know, it's not what we're doing today. So.
No, you're right, but we're just cranking these dudes out for time. You can always go back. And recess washing is kind of a thing you can go back. I mean, it's timely, right? But it takes time, but you can always go back and redo a recess wash.
Yeah, it's also especially if you do like an enamel recess wash, then that's super easy to do over something that's already painted. Because once we varnish these, we can do an enamel recess wash and then wipe away anything that we don't want, and everything would be good. I think we got a super chat. If you scroll up.
Is that how you would do that, Kat? You would
varnish first.
Varnish and
then. Yeah. If you're gonna switch mediums, I always recommend varnishing. There's been a couple times on this show actually where I haven't, but I've just been really careful to not push super hard.
Right.
Because your enamels will start to break down your acrylic, and can mess with stuff. So anytime you're changing mediums, you want to varnish in between. So.
Now, question: if you varnish dull coat, and then you do enamel, and was it going to wipe away okay, or is it going to wipe away gross?
So I actually recommend if you're going to do
glossy, yeah.
Yeah. If you're going to do a wash like that, you should do gloss.
So what if we did dull coat, then we decide we want to do that, then we do gloss? Would that work? Is the gloss going to go over top the? Okay.
It might end up looking a little thick, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blake. Zach, just saw a slap chop hot a grot. It's hot because it turned me on to a new style of painting. I posted my Zangor in hobby progress using this.
Yeah, I think the thing that the conversation that got kicked off in today's show earlier on Tabletop Titans was is slap chop a Adrian's still around the studio. Laughing. Is it great as a technique, or like how are we just like naming things, and what are we how are we like leaning into one thing so heavily, that kind of thing. And I think that was sort of more what the conversation is, as far as being a good painting technique. A good painting technique is anything that gets models on the table, really, in my opinion, because the alternative is you not painting, right? So if the alternative is, hey, I'm not going to paint very much, I don't know, then for me it's a good technique.
Yeah.
I also like it. Sorry, Kat. I would just say I also like it because, again, I think it's a technique where you end up with something that you can, almost like we're talking here about the Votann, you can always go back and add to, or increase, decrease. Well, not decrease, but you can always go back. You could highlight up a little bit more with an airbrush, and you could go and do more brush work.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Now, when this first got brought up last week, I was wondering what the difference between like doing the dry brushing or just zenithal. Like, is there a major difference, or is it just slap chop is just something that you just do without an airbrush? Because it seems like the first part of slap chop is you essentially do what you would do for a zenithal prime, but with a dry brush instead.
I think so. And then even, again, this is sort of more of the conversation is like, in some ways it's another, that's also more of the conversation, because there's also Like, here's Slapshot with an airbrush. At that point, is it still Slapshot? Is Slapshot whatever, right? I guess. I guess I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not super concerned with what it gets called personally. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. If I'm honest, guys, I don't have strong opinions one way or the other about it. I just like when people get their models painted. I just like playing against fully painted models. And to be honest with you, if Heavy Army, if I went to an art GT, which I do go to GTs, I'm going to one this weekend, and I played 5 games, and in all 5 games, the armies were fully painted and done in this style, I'd be pretty happy. I kind of hate playing super ugly armies. I don't hate it, but or unfinished, very unfinished looks. So
bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Honestly, like that's what's crazy about, like, if that's sort of my point. If bare minimum is done well, then I'm almost like into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like Slap Chop isn't bare minimum though. It's like a step above bare minimum, right? Because what is bare minimum? Like 3 colors and that's it. Like 3 different colors and that's it. But do they really even have to be like super different? Because I think with the whole Slap Chop thing is you get, essentially it's making the most out of contrast paints. You get the shadows and the highlights in, and then you put the contrast paints on top of it, and so it sort of enhances what the contrast paints were designed to do, which makes it look like not the bare minimum.
Right.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Was that what the conversation was? Was like if Slap Chop is hot or grot, or is it just like, what do we think about it? Because I think it's great. I think it's a good start. For me, personally, I think it's a good start.
Yeah.
But it's not where I would end. But like, honestly, if someone, like, I think we talked about this last week too, if someone wanted to end there, I think
it's better than a lot of other places
like,
you could end, which is like just assembling.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think we were like, yes, we were kind of talking about that, and I think Adrian had the same take that you have there. More so, like, YouTube has this interesting thing, and we're guilty of it too, where you can grab a term and say like, hey, let's get clicks with this term, and let's use this term in all these different ways, and it almost has become this thing where it's like, what does it even mean anymore? And like, in the past few months, it's sort of like me not wanting to say oops all the time. It's like, that does mean something, but, and it does come from somewhere, of course, as Slapshot does in the case of Oopsall, the incident at the General Mills plant, resulting in all berries being added to cereals that had already been marketed such somehow in advance, even though it was an accident. So, like, that's more of the conversation, right? Like, how are people using the term, and like, almost like it can become confusing, right? Synthwave is another, actually, Pat, thing that, like, I like synthwave music, but people will use that in things like very broadly,
Right.
And it becomes like, what is this? And, I don't know. Also, probably a lot of this is just overthinking it. But it is fun to talk about stuff in our hobby.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great to discuss things, but I don't know if anyone would ever say like, no, it's dumb. I would hope not.
Like,
honestly,
just like any technique that gets you closer to a fully painted model is good. I think that's probably another part of the conversation. Like, is it a fully painted model? What is a fully painted model? Who is a fully painted model? Et cetera, et cetera.
Why is a fully painted model?
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get where you're coming from, but I think I just don't care enough to care.
Listen, He's in the other room. I'm just going to be honest. At this point, I'm defending Adrian. For me, I am just kind of like also paint your models.
If it gets more people into the hobby, and if it gets like more people doing some highlights and shadows in a very easy way, then I'm all for it. I think that's great.
Yeah, we should do it on a stream. Should we do it on a stream?
Sure. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. What would you slap chop paint?
I don't know. Maybe some Votann. No, I'm just kidding. These are going to be done. Yeah, anything really. Maybe some trees. We can just.
No, we're not slap chopping trees. That is almost the only way you paint trees anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like kind of how you always have been. How we always have painted trees to begin with. So no, Kat, we're not slap chopping trees.
Every time, but slap chop is like a infomercial like device to me. So
yes, of course.
Hearing it is a little off-putting, but
which we've also talked about. We talked about that. Did we talk about that last week?
yeah,
I can't remember if it was here on Hobby Titans or on The Good Talk, where we talked about slap chop, and it's not good.
it's a really bad food
break
processor. Yeah,
They break immediately. Slap chop Smaug, Blake says.
oh, that's up to Meg. That is really up to Meg. If Meg wants to slap chop Smaug, then by all means.
I don't know that
I think that would be exhausting.
Yeah, I don't know that she's going to do that.
I don't think she's going to do that, no. Meg did just buy a really cool airbrush, so...
Oh, she did, right.
That's really cool. Yeah, Smaug is Meg's to paint, but mine to build, so...
Fun little project, right?
Yeah, little.
Am I gonna be able to get like a whole Rohan army completely painted before Meg finishes Smaug? Before
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
I haven't assembled them or anything. I need to actually get those assembled.
I guess it depends. I do plan on taking Smaug with me on vacation and seeing if I'm going to work on him.
Please, like, if that's going to help you enjoy your vacation, then who am I to say don't do it? But please don't do that. Please don't feel obligated to do that. Oh my gosh. Who knows? I guess you are kind of a psycho about assembling, as far as I'm concerned.
I think just having,
that you love it.
I think just having like a space where I don't have to like stop and like do actual work, and so I can keep going is going to be the best thing.
What do you mean?
Well, like just cleaning the little like scales on Smaug takes like 3 hours, and that's like on one piece. Mm-hmm. So being able to like leave them out and then get back to him, like walk away and then get back to him.
Oh, I see.
Instead of like after 3 hours, I'm like, okay, I have to go home, or I like gotta clean this up and then do other stuff.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So, yeah.
Okay, one sec. Oh, Michael Cody, not your mother's YouTube slap chop drama. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Michael Cody. I love the call out. I've been appreciating the not your mother's. Did you guys? Oh, did everybody see? Games Workshop did a. Speaking of Votann and not your mother's, I hope everybody logged in to Warhammer Community, or not logged in, but saw that they did a not your ancestors like thing. This is not your ancestors' weapons, or not. I forget what it was for Votann.
Yeah, it was the thing that John sent, right?
John, yeah. Everybody sent that to me. Like, I had like fans on Discord sending that to me. Like, I woke up in the morning, West Coast time, and like all the British and American fans had like messaged me personally, and I was like, what is happening? And there are all these like this is the same article. It was like 4 or 5 people, but it was like, I was like, oh my god.
That's funny. That's kind of cute.
They're getting on the bandwagon. Now it's going to be even easier to replace Oops All with Not Your Mother's.
Well, the Not Your Mother's like root beer brand gonna come after you though?
Or the hair product brand.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, I don't like them though. But yeah.
You don't like Not Your Mother's dry shampoo?
No.
Why not?
Not a fan.
Why not?
Not a fan. It's too drying. It's too drying. I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels like hairspray, and that's not what I want in dry shampoo. So.
It's the UK's #1 dry shampoo.
Oh, it's not good. Is it? I thought that was Batiste.
Oh, is that Batiste?
Yeah, I think that's Batiste. We're getting really into
Our hair products. Yeah, kind of like to chat hair care every now and then.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm not sure.
But I think we did talk about this previously. I just don't like drugstore dry shampoo.
Salon, you gotta get your salon, but you can get salon quality stuff at a drugstore sometimes.
Not what I get.
I mean, it's a 10 from a drugstore.
Yeah, that's like expensive drugstore.
If you get it's a 10 at Safeway, they have to come unlock it for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, I use generic shampoo, but like everything else that I like put in my hair.
That's pretty standard, right? Like shampoo's kind of meh.
Yeah.
But the masks and the conditioner and the styling products are where.
I put my money into that.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure we're gonna go into hair tightens next.
Hair tightens. We should do some hair tightens. Oh my gosh. Aquanet. We have a bottle of Aquanet behind us, actually, I think.
Oh, for chipping?
Yeah.
It's down there.
Yeah, we still have some Aquanet.
Yeah, for chipping stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Occasionally it's been used for hair.
Yeah, I rarely ever use hairspray. So I don't even know what brand of hairspray I have. I think I have It's a 10 hairspray. Because I needed it for my cousin's wedding and there was a CVS like down the street. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did they have to unlock it for you?
No, it was a affluent neighborhood. So no.
So no.
No.
They're lucky to even sell It's a 10. They're like.
It's still CVS.
We use Olaplex around here. This is an Olaplex neighborhood.
Wow, if you could find like a CVS that sold Olaplex, that's kind of a big deal.
Right, that's why they're just ordering it or they're just getting it from salons.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Niche hair tighten stock. Oh boy.
Okay. How's this going? We're gonna zoom in. I know you're like.
Oh no.
I know you're working on his face still.
Oh no. Well, I put an extra coat of black red on his face, so I'm letting that dry, but it's now even. But I'm going in with the lead gray, and I'm gonna mark out where the orange stuff goes now.
I'm at this. I don't know. This is like this. I'm at this really satisfying part where I'm going through with a second coat of Eshin gray, and it's like, this is the nice thing about this white. The first coat goes on so poorly, but the second coat is just like magic. Right? Yeah. That's like what happens with this white. So for those keeping track at home, that means I'm gonna have to do 40 plus 6 bikes plus 3 characters. And I'm gonna have to do Eshin gray twice. Then I'm gonna do this dark orange. Then I'm gonna do the light orange. And I'm gonna say this. And I know Adrian's gonna argue with me afterwards. I still am gonna prefer this personally to doing the masking. Because the only part that really stunk here was the first coat of Eshin gray. That actually takes a while. After that, each dwarf I pick up, I've got in my hands for like 4 or 5 seconds as I pretty much just put that second thin coat on. This guy I missed, so I'm going to come right back to him. But it's so funny. It just looks so bad when you have the first coat on, and then you just go back with the second coat, and you're like, magic. I remember this from when I used to hand paint more.
Yeah, well, it's so bad to the point where I'm like, Should I have just airbrushed this? Should I have just like shoved some masking putty in there and gone to town? But honestly, I think I'm going to agree with you, mostly just because like having to wash the cup out and then like put the mask down on everything, washing the cup out after each like thing. Yeah, I don't know though. Having to do 2 layers of the dark gray, I think it kind of ruins it a little bit.
It puts it closer, but the second layer is like good. I'm zooming through this. I'm also not sure I need to do. Yeah, well, I know I only need to do one of the orange. And to be honest with you, I also kind of think that the way it came out, I kind of like a little bit better.
Okay.
I'll actually, let me pass the two of them to Kat. Take a look at his shoulder. You can see the one that was masked. He's the one with the completed base. You can see the one I did. I almost have this like little opportunity to do almost like a little bit of weathering. If you can see, like, let me switch. So the one guy with the white base is the one who's been hand painted, the orange. And like you can see, I almost kind of like did with the final light orange. I almost made it a little like streaky and like in like a particular way, like right up here.
Yeah.
You can see. So I almost kind of like had this opportunity to sort of build in, like a look.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm happy with how it came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see that is the match. That is the color match finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They matched. I think that's great.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I think next time on Hair Titans we slap chop hair. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hair Titans.
There you go.
We had we do chat about hair here a lot.
Which honestly I think is great. Everyone should care about hair. Unless you don't have any, then I'm really sorry.
Yeah. That doesn't actually describe anybody at the studio currently.
No.
So we're
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hair chatty here. Hey, we have a lot of fan stuff this week because Kat likes to pick a lot of fan stuff, which I like about her.
Yes.
I
also like it about me too.
Yeah, let's
do
round one. Let's split the rounds a little bit today. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna split the rounds. Let's do fan stuff 1. Mm-hmm. This is a good picture.
Yeah, so there was actually 2 dudes on the side as well too. I think there were 5 guys in total. I did have to crop it so that it fits the formatting and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also like as I'm like cropping stuff out of people's pictures and stuff, I'm like, just look at the actual picture on the Discord. This is just a call to go to the Discord.
Yes, of course, yeah.
But yeah, there are 2 other dudes on each side, and they're both painted just as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, these are Berserkers, folks. They look like Berserkers. And they're super cool. And the picture's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always there's one every week where it's just good. Today we started off with it. Oh, there's Votann. It's like yellow and orange and red a little bit, or is it yellow and orange? Kind of, yeah.
I think it's a contrast paint.
Okay.
Just from the look of it. But yeah, he's like a dark, like golden yellow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Votann.
Yeah. I was very surprised Kat didn't do an all Votann week, but she said weirdly there wasn't enough.
No, I think there's like 3 or 4.
I thought for sure you would do like at least there would be enough for like a one batch of all Votann.
No, yeah, in order for that to happen,
I'd
have to have like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy looks great. I like the snow base. Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, and I also believe the person who painted this tagged me in it as well too. So I got to see this over the weekend. So.
Oh, cool! Because you love Votann, and
I
they
love
knew that.
Votann.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
And hey, look, I've been saying. Well, actually, this is one of the characters. That's why I was just about to say. I've been saying I haven't been seeing anyone still do like army wide or like way more no helmets. And here's a no helmet, but that's because it's a character. They actually don't have helmets. In the traditional style of the Grimdark, to have your most valuable leader helmetless for battle.
It's the cool way to go.
Yeah.
So this person also said that this knight was a work in progress, but I thought it was really cool, and yeah, I liked how like smooth the gold was on the trim. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, I like this. This is like for a knight. Well, it's like Night Lord's colors. I realize they have their own houses. And also, this is an Imperial, or is this Chaos? Or is this an Imperial kit that's being Chaosified? I think that's what's going on here. Can anyone confirm? Or make a guess?
It has spikes on it, and that's Chaos, right?
I think that's Chaos, but is this a Chaos? This isn't a Chaos kit, is it? I don't think so.
It looks like it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The mask is also Chaos as well, too.
I guess you're right.
It just doesn't, and it also has chains and stuff like that hanging off of it. I just think it's not like super cluttered like most of the Chaos ones
Maybe
are.
I've never really seen the Chaos Knight, like a large Chaos Knight kit.
Well, because a lot of them also have these like spikes that, like, are these sticks that stick out of them, and then chains hanging between them as well, too.
Oh, right. So it's just
this
a
one
little,
doesn't have
little
it on
cleaner.
there.
Yeah. Oh, Magnus the Red from Zinchbot? Yeah, Zinchbot.
Yeah.
This is great. We love these multi-pick picks, right? These collages.
Collages.
Yeah, this looks great. People have been doing such a good job with Magnus the Red. We saw a really cool Magnus the Red a while back with the orange wings, if you guys remember that one. Mm-hmm. This one, more traditional, still amazing. Great base. You know what else this person did that I really like, Kat?
What's that?
I like the placement of Magnus on the base. I think I'm a big fan of not putting models right in the middle of bases.
Oh, okay.
Because then you get to, the base becomes a little bit more of a diorama opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at these Votanns. We're going to have to pop these guys off the bases. I hope they're not plastic load. Yeah, one guy like came right off, or was like about to, I could tell he was going to pop right off, and now I'm trying this guy, and it's not going well. But I'm really into, like, look how much more of the base gets to be a thing when you put the model off to one side.
Mm-hmm. I also think it depends on how the sculpt of the model goes as well too. Some of them just don't lend themselves to that very well, but these bigger guys are great for that. My worry though is like balance.
Well, you have to put you make it, you try to make it work in your favor by having the balance issue go deep, go in towards the center of the base, right? Mm-hmm. Certainly, if you don't do that, then you're right, you're in trouble. So you almost try to make that like help solve that problem. And the mask is cool too. I actually like it a lot. Not a mask that he comes with, right? But it is very cool. Mm-hmm. Good horns, good everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great cloth.
Yeah, this guy was really cool.
Yeah.
Just all around.
Super cool. Broken Chef. Oh, I like this color. I like this color scheme for Custodes, actually. Like, not super gold, but still a little bit of gold.
Yeah, me too. There was a couple that I could have picked from Broken Chef, but this one, I like the colors on it a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was cool. He's cranking out a lot of models. And I feel like every week it's like a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Wondering how that's going for you, Broken Chef. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I like this. Oh, this looks cool. We've been seeing this. We've been seeing this. Mm-hmm. Also been working on his white scars like crazy. His heresy white scars.
Yeah, and honestly, there was another shot of the back of this. But Timbit did not put his name on that one, that I was about to pick over this one until I saw that he put his name on it. Because the back of it, he's holding a sword behind him that has like a really cool glow to it. and the glow that's cast on the back of the model is just so beautifully done. But I said what I said, and if you put your name on it, I will pick it. But I also try not to pick multiple things by the same person, and especially like if it's like a different angle of the same thing. But this was really, really, really cool. I'm loving everything. But yeah, I would definitely highly recommend going to the Hobby Progress channel and seeing the back of this model. Yeah, Timbit, next time please make a collage, because the back of it, I just stared at for like a solid 10 minutes. It was really cool. The really nice soft glow on the back of them was fantastic.
Excited to see like an all army shot one day soon of this.
Yeah, I mean, the level of quality that you can put out, Timbit, in like such a short amount of time is really impressive. So that's awesome.
Oh, Broken Chef, Not Your Mother's Dragons and Stone Casts. Oh, I just saw somebody do like a Stonecast, Stormcast thing on Facebook. It was like, I think it was Facebook, or it might have been in a Discord. I can't remember.
Someone posted one in the Discord. I almost picked it, but it was a test run. So
that
like,
sounds like probably Broken Chef, right?
Yeah, I didn't pick that one. But I did see it.
Was it just like all stone, but just glowing blue?
eyes?
Okay, yeah. I think I saw you post that somewhere else too, Broken Chef. I think if you did post it somewhere else, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm actually really curious about that. Like, is that really just going to be? I know it sounds like I'm by using the word "just" right there, that I'm setting this up for judgment. I'm not. Is that literally going to be stone and then the glowing blue? I'm kind of curious to see like are the dragons going to be like that, or the creatures, or the chariots? I don't know how much of it you're doing. I'm kind of curious to see it. As you guys know, we did this Fire Slayers army, and my intent with this Fire Slayers army was to do it fast for table ready. I always want to go back and fix it, and we're going to have to for this. By fix it, I mean just add to it, right? Add brushwork, and we're going to have to because we need Fire Slayers for our Sigmar show now. But I'm a big fan of anything like, speaking of the stone cast and the slap chop conversation, anything that does get like a fully painted model. And to that end, that's what I was saying. Like, if you were doing stone cast and that's all it was a stone in the glowing blue, and it's like that's actually just two colors, but it was done better than somebody who just like begrudgingly put three colors on their models, I'd prefer it, right? Like, you could make really cool bases, you could lean into other aspects of the hobby, and the finished product could be great. Yeah, it might not win best painting because painting judges might say something which is very fair, like, hey, this was actually like not a lot of work, right?
So as a judge, I wouldn't say this isn't a lot of work. If it works, then it works. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But if if it looks like someone's done a better paint job than you, then that's what is going to do.
Or it's like, but also like it is almost like a tiebreaker, right? I think for a lot of people, like if somebody painted something more traditionally.
If someone went in and painted like stone cracks and painted like the glowing coming through the cracks, and I could tell that there was like a ton of freehand and stuff like that done on it, then
ruins and
I would be all for it. But if it was just like gray and then it was dry brushed, I can tell that it's gray and dry brushed, and whatever.
Like, was it a fast? Was it for just being fast, right?
Yeah, it's not speed. It's just level of technique. Really is a big factor. But also, does it mesh harmoniously? Is it the best painted thing there? And if it is, then it should win.
Yeah. Ooh, what are these? Oh, these are the Skaven. Is this Bryce? No.
I don't know.
Wait, was this Bryce? Bryce, is this you? These are like, hold on, I need to get a better look.
They're purple Skaven.
Bryce is Skaven. Yeah, this.
Are they purple?
Yeah, Bryce, are you there? Is this you? He doesn't usually take pictures like this. And those aren't Bryce's bases, but are these bases finished? Let me see. Let me get a better look. I think the color settings fell back apart again.
Oh, I don't know.
Like we had them good. Okay. Yeah, this is the underworlds. No, this isn't Bryce. Oh yeah, but these guys look cool. Yeah, this is like the underworlds or Nether maze. It came with against daughters, and it these are the Skaven that came with it. I actually gave these guys off to Bryce, and hopefully we'll get them back to borrow for a minute. Yeah, they look super cool. I like the bases, the like blue.
Yeah, I like the purple cloaks and stuff. I also just am a big fan of the Skaven, like the newer Skaven models in general, because many moons ago, when I was first introduced to Games Workshop, it was when Fantasy was around, and I thought about making a Skaven army, but
Many moons ago. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it just never,
Cat's birthday is this weekend.
It is.
Everybody.
It is this Saturday.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Cat preemptively.
Thank you.
I don't want to be like old timey and big. I'm not going to say how old Cat is and let her announce that if she wants. But
Oh, I'm turning 30.
she's turning 30, so
Yeah.
now she feels like she gets to say many moons ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna officially be old. So I guess the next time you guys see me, I will be old. But yeah.
Yeah, you're 30. Yeah, 30s is great. For me, I think the 30s was the best decade of my life. I think the best decade is going to be my 40s. But I think the 30s will be my second best decade.
Well, I would hope so, because you just turned 40.
I just turned 40, so
yeah. Hopefully it goes up from there.
hopefully it does go up from there. Looking forward to it. Cat turning 30, everyone. Wish Cat happy birthday. Oh, I saw this guy today. Yeah, super cool. This is a Yavarna Tau Riptide. It's really cool. These models, the Tau are just like so amazing for OSL.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
They're really cool. I like it. This one was also just very smooth
Yeah.
and stuff. I liked how the base, like, wasn't anything like super crazy, but it's very realistic, which I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's like a diorama-y type thing, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I love the red, the cream. That was really cool. Little Stormcast. Mm-hmm. Loving this guy, Lord Relictor.
Yeah, this one was really cool. I like all the guys with all the banners and stuff. They're just really cool. They're a way to get like some really cool detail going and stuff. That's really cool. Thank you everyone for all the birthday wishes. And happy belated birthday, Sir Esco.
Oh, he just turned 30. Oh my god. Yesterday, wow. Feels the same. Yeah, it does. Turning 40 also felt the same as being 39. I think.
Yeah, I don't imagine it be too different. But I do like to joke around that like I'm gonna be old soon.
I was actually giving a lot of thought. Let's finish this after this fan stuff. This looks amazing. And speaking of Saresco, I do want to plug him real quick here and say, if you also want to see some cool Stormcast, check out Monday's game on Tabletop Titans. We premiered a bunch of his models, not all his models, because we have this crazy multi-layered Stormcast collection, but all the newest editions are from him, Saresco, here in chat, and they look amazing, and honestly, they're my favorite. I think Saresco might be able to in one of our last games, or we already kind of know, spoiler, that we're going to use Stormcast again in the next 12-week season in the new year. So I think I'm definitely going to try to get a game up where we only use your models. Fortunately, I think that actually happens to be a pretty good list, so excited for that. But, you know, I know we're always kind of mixing, well, for a little while, we're going to be mixing you in with some eBay models, some of which were done pretty well, some of which are kind of meh. Sorry, I'm not sure who painted those. They look like they were kind of a quick job, slap chop, if you will. but I'm very excited. This one looks amazing as well. There's like some good kind of like lighting as we go up, which is like a thing, obviously, right? Like the shading is good. Like the top of the banner and the top of the character himself, very nicely shaded. It's like blue. I like blue in there with gold and silver.
Yes. Yeah. I, like, as much as we're like, oh, I like different Stormcast, there is just something like very regal about the original Stormcast coloring, and that's what this is.
Also, they are.
Although I think it's green.
Is it green?
I think it's green.
That's stupid color TV. We're a hobby channel where we evaluate paint jobs, and our TV can't show blue different.
I wanted to turn the monitor around, like the one that's on the desk, but
it's not easy.
It's
not.
It's fixed to the desk.
It's somewhat fixed to the desk.
So that wasn't an option.
That's
but
another.
Anyway, here's a cool Tyranid model.
Yeah, this looks really awesome. This is a good example for me, Kat, of like somebody making dark miniatures look not so blah. Like not get lost.
Dark in color. Oh yeah. I also think like this model in particular, because of all the detail on the like hull. I don't know what it is. The carapace.
Yeah, the carapace.
The dude.
Yeah.
It lent itself really well to like some nice, tasteful dry brushing.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, I hate to keep bringing it up, but is this a slap chop Tyrannifex?
No.
No. Why not?
Because none of these are contrast paints.
It has to be contrast paint?
I think that's what it is, right? It's
see, that's a lot of the conversation Adrian were trying to have with people, and why I think Adrian's point with calling it grot was not that the technique of any technique that getting models out quickly is bad, but that like we actually don't know the definition of this word. That's it. Adrian also gets really annoyed with the term ombre. He's like, that's not a thing. But like it is a thing, right? It's just like it's a gradient, like
yeah. Wait, what?
I don't know. Look, I can't speak for him. Although I guess no.
He's in the other room. We'll just go over.
Just yelling, just like call him with no context to answer for his crimes.
Yeah, I'm sure he like yeah.
Yeah, this is super cool. What is this? It's cool.
Someone tagged you. These are a bunch of sisters.
Okay.
Someone tagged you in the post, but they were a bunch of sisters. I'm not sure if you asked to look at them or something, but I thought this one was really cool. But
you know what I'm realizing now that you're telling this to me? Last week, I told some people or asked some people. Remember we were looking through, and I said I'd message people because some people had really cool. Oh, maybe this is it. Yeah, really cool pictures of their armies, and I said to.
Oh yeah. I wanted an individual.
Yeah, is this one of them?
I have no idea.
Oh my god, I look through so much stuff every week. This is very awesome. This banner is crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's a crazy banner.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of them. I think it's their whole Sisters army.
Okay, I think Sisters was one of them was a 40k army, and one of them was a Sigmar army. The 40k army was. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that Stormcast was probably one of them as well too, because there were a bunch of.
Was it Stormcast?
There's a bunch of Stormcast ones, but I think that Stormcast was green and gold because I remember thinking, ooh, fancy bathroom colors, for one of them. So I don't know. I think it was green.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, this is a sister, and I like the banner a lot, so I picked it.
Interesting. Yeah. Again, really nice, like vivid red and black, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like the Tyranid. Oh, little Fallout hobby stenciling.
Yeah, so this is like a super like tabletop Titans purple. Mm-hmm. And there are two of them. I cut one of them out, but I liked the like hex pattern on it. I thought it was really cool.
I got this exact same stencil for my Tau, and I played around using it a little bit. I ultimately ended up not. But I think what they've done here is the way to go, which is to take the same cut, like put it on your second. Like if this looks very airbrushed, So, which is a good thing for me on Tau. Like, I love how clean it looks. And I think you put it on, and then you do like your last coat, like your last airbrush layer, and then you take it off. So that the hex pattern is the same color, just darker. I was actually trying to do a whole nother color, and it just looked insane.
Yeah, I think for this one, because like honestly, I think for this, because I know what the original picture looks like, and I know that this is not what it looks like, but it almost like the monitor's giving it like a almost like a pink iridescent highlight to it, and now I kind of want that to be on the original model, because I think that would be really cool. It would almost look like those like someone sneezed. I don't know if it was Adrian or
Adrian and Shane are in the other room, so that
it might have been Adrian. Yeah. But yes, I was laughing because it was loud enough to be able to be picked up. So.
They've been here the whole time, and I don't think anything else they've done has been picked up, but that was loud.
Yeah, maybe some opening of doors and stuff, but yes.
There's going to be more of that. We've got a lot going on in the studio now nowadays.
But anyway, I think some cool like pink iridescent highlights on this,
in the
like
front.
just
in the
on
front is what you're saying.
It would make it look like one of those like color changing cars, or like.
Oh yeah. Are you suggesting, Kat, that our TV, historically, not showing us the right values of colors and tints, is somewhat of an oracle, and that it should show our fans who submit stuff, and we can say, the Oracle has decreed you should add pink to your Sunshark bomber.
Yes.
Yeah. We had the original picture, and then we pulled it up, and we all saw the original picture on the screen, and then we got here, and the TV, which doesn't understand how color works, is showing us that this is actually what your Sunshark bomber should look like.
I also think if we went that route, then everyone would need to like have to airbrush their model with like a nice coat of Nuln oil.
Can we? Yeah.
In order to match the TV.
Is it Nuln oil, or is it Drakenhof Nightshade, right?
Yeah. It does add like a blue cast to everything.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It's like the movie Payback with Mel Gibson and Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
It's just like everything's a little...
Yeah, some blue in the shadows and some pink like right on the front, just right there.
Yeah.
I think would be fantastic.
Oh, Drazar, Master of Blades, looking good, looking sharp.
Yeah.
Love it.
This one was really cool. I liked it. I liked the base and just all the the level of detail and everything. It was done really nicely. Very clean.
Yeah, he's cool. Cool dude, very mean. Okay. Is there any more? Oh, Salamander.
Yeah.
Is this Salamander?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I think it's Salamander.
He looks like Master Chief, which is why I picked him.
Yeah.
Because he's green with like a orange visor, so I was like, oh, it's Master Chief.
No, see, Drew, it's not color correct. We've done everything. Brett's looked at it. Bridger's looked at it. Those two both decreed it was unfixable. After that,
we poked around.
Kat and I poked around recently. We rejected their conclusion, and I think we improved it. But I now feel like it's gone back or something like that, right?
Yeah. We were also looking at it with all the lights on as well too, so that might have been an issue, and the sun was still up, and so it really what it is. It's dark and it has like a blue cast to it, and even when we go in and like try and adjust the blue levels, it doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Kaldorf's Green Wing is what Michael Cody.
Oh, Green Wing. Okay, so it's Dark Angels. Yeah. So that was kind of my question, if it was Dark Angels or Salamanders.
Yeah, he's Master Chief to me. I think that's really what it is.
Yeah. Master Chief is, I guess more of a Dark Angels color, not Salamander's color. Oh, this looks cool. Mm-hmm. I'm loving the. I do love the Praetor that came in the new Heresy box, and that's what this guy is.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of like the lead dude. I love the bubble study shoulder pads.
Yeah, I really liked the Grim Dark paint job on this guy. It was done really, really well.
It is quite grim dark, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, but it was done very well, and I liked it a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like it probably was not a ton of work to turn out either, and get these very good results. Like again, like it was probably done pretty quickly overall, and then going in and like picking out some details.
Maybe.
I'm into it.
Yeah. It just looked like a bronze cast statue that was like aged and patinaed.
I actually thought at first that it was a AOS Slaves of Darkness model, which people will do in that style, but that style is also just great for this here as well. Yeah, super cool. Snarky Bear, New Zealand. These look great. This is one of the houses, right? Folks who know the night houses, like the red. Oh, is this like the one of the Mechanicus houses, right? Like, is this Mars, or does Mars have a night house? I think this is the Mars night house, right? Whatever it's called, with the hazard stripes and the red. It's very bold. It's like very bold to do red and hazard stripes, right?
Yes. I mean,
like even just thematically, okay, right? Like even thematically, like
yeah, just red, yellow, black. They're all very bold colors.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you like about these, Kat?
That they put their name on it.
You know, I've always
not to like say anything bad about the paint job or anything like that. It's very smooth and I like it. But we want to give credit where credit's due, and I don't always remember whose like posts things are. I read the names, I try and read what people say, but I really do want to highlight the fact that like, hey, our community is like really talented. Put your names on things.
Yeah, I've always wondered. You know, since I've been interacting with a lot of people with Titans Train, a lot of fans emailing me, and I also know their addresses.
Wow, so much power.
I've often wondered. I often will ask people what the gaming scene is like where they're from, and I've always wondered. I'm not sure I've asked anyone from New Zealand. I've always wondered. I know sometimes Base Dorothy is in chat. I know they're from New Zealand. I've always wondered what the gaming and hobby scene is like in New Zealand. In general, I've always wondered what a lot of things are like in New Zealand. Like, it's like it's not even
well, other than the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's not even like one island. It's two. Like, it's so interesting. You know, it's. We have like 40 million people in the state of California alone, right? And we're in a place that's super, super big here in the Bay Area, and we can go down to the Southern California, and you know it's even bigger by a lot. And all of these places have bigger populations than New Zealand, so it's kind of interesting. Interesting, Graham. Yeah. Very interesting. I've always been curious. Oh, another Votann.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was cute. I also haven't seen Votann like painted super dark either. So
No.
This one was really cool. Some black and gold and red. Black, red, and gold.
You know, he was in chat, or this looks great. Sorry, I was about to change the subject. I was like the crystals, the base. Yeah. He looks. It's a different style of Votann. It's more like fantasy feeling. It reminds me. I was about to say he was in chat earlier. I haven't met Dr. Toomer in person yet, but I have seen pictures of his Lumineth, which is an army again that we traditionally think of as very bright and vivid, and most people paint that way. But he has like kind of darker ones, and they look really cool. So actually, you're right. It is cool to see this. I know this person probably isn't the first person to paint darker Votann, but I do love it. Very cool. Little Tesseract arc.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
Now, is this terrain or is this actual like a piece?
It's got rules. It's a model. Yeah, it's not terrain. Wild, right? This is this thing in the middle is like is captured. It's almost like the dragon thing you're talking about with Conquest, right? Like the Necron. These were their gods, basically, and then they like destroyed them all or captured them all, and that's what this is. This is like a component of one of their gods captured in this thing they've built.
I see.
Graham is in chat. Graham is Necron person. Yeah, not little. Graham, I have that right. I think. This is like it, right? This is like basically a captured Satan that is being like they're like getting his power, and he shoots crazy attacks, and it's pretty cool. It seems really unyieldly, right? Like I know I've seen people have these on the battlefield. I think we have one here. Mm-hmm. And it seems like it's just gonna fall over.
Yeah, it's such a small base for like how big the actual model is.
Yeah. Maybe it's pretty well balanced though, honestly. I don't know. This, not a model I'd put on the side of the base. We were talking about that earlier, yeah. You don't get anything cool here by doing that with this guy.
Fair.
Oh, some terrain.
Yeah.
Little tomb. How many? You fit a lot on.
I think there's 18.
On one. You fit a lot. I thought we were we were struggling to fit like 10 on sometimes.
Yeah, so that's why I go through and I
Have you been
crop.
resizing? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cropping.
so I crop, and so that cuts the file size down a lot.
Okay.
I don't resize because that's a little bit more involved than cropping is.
Yeah, yeah.
But I crop. So for those of you who put your names on things, thank you so much.
Also, I'm gonna crop it out.
No. Sometimes I wish I could crop it, but like their name's in the corner, and I'm like, no. So I don't crop it.
We're starting to ask a lot now.
Yes. Yeah.
Put your name right in the middle.
I would rather you put your name on it.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to put it is wherever you want to put it. But if you put it right underneath your model, then I can crop it and the file size is smaller. So yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I've had that happen as well, and you feel like a jerk because you're like, oh, we're the ones that asked them to do this. This looks really awesome.
Yeah, they said that they made it like an overgrown tomb and some sort of like scattered terrain.
Okay. I was actually, Megan is currently working on some gravesite markers for her Soul Blight Gravelord.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if that's what this was.
No, yeah, they just said it was for some scatter. But yeah, I believe it's either in terrain or hobby progress.
Okay.
On the Discord, but it was really well done. So I liked it. Yeah.
Okay, and we're done.
Yes, for the first one.
For the first one. Yeah, some really nice stuff. Let's check in, see how things are going here. Little top down. I am cruising along now with this orange. I am pretty happy with how this comes out. This is nice, actually. Hand painting all this. I'm not sure. It may be more work than the masking was. I still am not sure, and certainly less annoying. But I will say that it's also like I can leave like edges of the gray, which I think kind of gives it a more like, again, weathered look. I don't know. I'm kind of liking it. I'll show you guys when I'm done. And Adrian was able to do that sometimes with the masking as well. But I think it's a little more controlled this way. Mm-hmm. How are you doing? Let's get a little shoulder zoom.
Yeah, so his face is a little less scary. Mm-hmm. I put in the first coat of dark dark rust on his skin. So
Dark rush or dark rust?
Rust. My bottle is not
Idiotic.
Yeah, dark rust on his skin. And then I'm probably going to go up to probably a mix of, I'm going to say cork and dark rust, and that would be like his skin color. And then I'm going to do a mix of dark rust and orange brown for some highlights, or probably a mix of all three of these for some highlights and stuff. But I want him to have a darker skin tone just to give some diversity to these dudes. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we have a couple different color skin tones, or maybe just one. I'm not sure how many we've done so far.
Yeah, well, this guy is very pale with like dark brown hair, and this guy's face isn't flesh, so.
Oh right, it's like metal actually. That's right.
It's like a Dr. Doom mask. Or
yeah,
something.
that's right. That is actually what he has. It's kind of funny.
So yeah.
Nice.
This is where he's at. But right now I'm painting the orange. So yeah, I also went like fully down his body with the stripe, and I realized that none of the rest of these guys have it. But it's okay.
Oh, that's okay. No.
All of them are different.
Yeah, that's okay. I've done the stripes different on these guys as well, and Adrian has a few different stripes things going on too.
Yeah.
So yeah, the stripes being different is totally cool.
Yeah. I also found if you're looking for less steps, that lead gray from AK actually covered the white in one coat.
Oh, that's so annoying because I had lead gray out, and then like I didn't have as much of it, and not like I need that much at all, right? Like this is such a small surface area that we're covering.
Yeah.
But I was like, this Eshin gray, I have plenty of it just in case. I always do that.
But yeah, it covered it in one
Okay.
coat. Yeah. So if
I have to do any more.
yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, oh man, I could have done that. It covered it pretty much like nice and smooth in one coat.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
these two oranges are each only gonna need one coat, but they're going over. The first one's going over the gray, and the second one is going over
the other
orange,
red,
right?
yeah.
Well, red, right. This is not a red. This is not even close to a red. It's crazy.
It's like a pumpkin orange, which is kind of crazy.
The cadmium one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even close to a red. Like
No.
like
No,
what is the
it's
red orange is like vermilion, right? Like that's what that's called.
Or just red orange.
Well, right.
Or
okay,
an
okay.
AK.
Well, they have a vermilion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like a warm, it's like a very
I'd say crimson is also very like a very orangey red
okay,
as well.
maybe
too.
I'm wrong. Is vermilion more purple, guys? Can someone? I don't have the internet.
Well, we do, but it's a little bit more complicated than that.
It just wouldn't be fun.
Yeah. Just have you go over there and type. We can listen to Adrian sneeze some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's Adrian. I think it was Shane who sneezed.
It was a very loud sneeze.
I've been in here a lot with Adrian, like hundreds and hundreds of hours.
You know his sneezes?
Well, I'm just not sure. I've never been aware of something like that happening. So that's what makes me think it was not Adrian.
As someone who also has a very loud sneeze, I'm a bit like self-conscious of it. So I get it, but it was a very loud sneeze.
Yeah, it hit a little different than an experience I've had in the studio before. So I'm like pretty sure it wasn't Adrian. We'll find out. We'll let you guys know.
Tune in next week and we'll let you know who sneeze it was.
When we talk about
fan stuff
who
too?
sneezed. Fan stuff too. Here we
go. So the name is kind of cut off because it's right underneath the John text, but this is by Andy B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black Templars. And I like these bases.
Yeah, they're really cool. They almost look like, I I know that they're metal floors, but it makes them almost look like they're toys a little bit. Like, does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I think these are these are bases I think that GW sells, and I like these. And honestly, like I never see anybody use them, but I do like them, and I've never used them either because I've never really felt like I've wanted to. I sort of want to with some of the kill team stuff. I sort of want to with the Imperial Navy breachers that I have to paint up, but and I might, but I've never really seen anybody paint these.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah.
I like the red knee.
Yeah, is this actually, guys? Are these Heresy Dark Angels, or are these? Yeah, these might be Heresy Dark Angels, and not. Black Templars. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay. Amsterdam. I know this guy. Cool. Votann. I knew he was going to be doing Votann. He's been talking about it a lot.
Yeah, I think these are purple as well too.
God.
So.
But our TV has declared
that they are blue.
they're now blue.
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
they're purple.
We will send you a picture of what it looks like on the Oracle.
You need to repaint
and you
them.
need to correct for its vision. That is what we do here now in Hobby Titans. That is the TV is now our most valuable member. It tells you what your model should look like.
Yeah, honestly, I think everyone just needs to put a Drakenhof Nightshade layer on everything.
Yeah, we'll send you a picture of Amsterdam, but in the meantime, just go ahead and code everything in Drakenhof Nightshade. And then we'll tell you what else you need to do after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see the orange. I actually want to come over and check these out on the real screen.
They're purple, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it is like a bluish purple.
Okay.
With the orange, and he's got the red. Yeah, these are nice. I like these bases too. It's like a canyon. I like the flower.
Yeah. I also think was it him? There's someone who was experimenting with using powder pigments on their basing and stuff. I believe it was these guys because I remember them being purple Votann, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, you know what I just? Oh, that was stupid. I just messed that up. You know what I did? Speaking of, I was going through and searching for some hobby stuff.
Okay.
And I came upon a big old drawer of mine that I opened up, and it had all my secret weapon miniatures powders, and I was kind of sad because the company went out of business.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man. And then of course you're a little nervous to like really get too involved with them in a project, right? Because you're like, am I going to match this ever again?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. But then, what would you use them for?
Yeah, I'll use them for like a terrain where I know I can be one and done. Not like an army where I'm gonna have to like keep adding to it over the years potentially.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Let me get to the next one here. This is these are nice Amsterdam. Cool to see this. Oh, this guy looks super cool.
Yeah, the eyes on this guy are very intense.
Yeah.
But they said that the black dots on his eyes were a little off. Honestly, I think it adds to the model.
It's scary. It makes him look spooky.
It makes him look very judgmental, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
The paint job on him is fantastic.
Yeah, I like
yes.
it. I'm with Kat. I like what's going on here. Yeah, it's spooky. Very cool. Oh, is this the one that you've had up before in the past couple weeks, or is this another?
No, it's a different one. The base is different.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, the one you did before was a Conquest model too, right?
No.
No, what's this guy?
No, it was
okay.
I don't know if it was this guy in particular, but it wasn't Age of Sigmar.
I like this dinosaurs like colorations.
Yeah, me too. Very pale.
It's like pinkish and a little red going on. Yeah, this is very cool. Yeah, I'm hoping one day to be able to paint this army, Seraphon. because I think, and this person has done a good job. It just, I mean, like, it's like you're painting some dinosaurs, and it's not even just like painting the dinosaurs. It's just like I don't know, like how you can just do so much crazy cool coloration with it, right? Like,
yeah, finding a good color scheme with my dinosaurs was very difficult. I wanted to do everything, but like it wouldn't have looked good on the table unless I found some sort of uniformity between them all.
Same. This is like, you can also, of course, like the rider can be part of that, which is what they've done here too, right? The rider is like different, and yeah, I don't know what this is from. Is this the Carnosaur kit? I don't think so. It might be. The head looks different. Yeah, I really don't know what this is. It doesn't look like Seraphon to me. Little Eldar. Ooh, this is a cool color scheme.
Yeah, so they have like some really cool masking going on with like all
Yeah.
these circles and stuff.
Yeah. These jet bikes lend themselves to that so well.
Yeah, which was super, super, super cool. But it was really cool, like airbrushing and masking, which I thought it was a really cool effect, but it looked like it was very easily achieved, which is great.
Yeah, these look great. I'm guessing these are like an Iandin vibe going on here, Craft World Iandin. No matter what, though, they look super cool. Really into these. Yeah, good like shading, blending too. What is this? Cody, you were in chat earlier. This is a moose. There's moose antlers.
He said it was from Malifaux.
Oh, okay.
But it was really cool, like Wendigo, like type thing. But yeah, he said it was for a Malifaux.
Okay. This is a cool model.
Yeah, Malifaux makes some really, really, really cool models. They're very delicate.
And I know last week you were saying you're not the biggest fan of assembling them.
No, they're very delicate, and their instructions aren't the greatest. But
Oh,
yeah.
I think that's what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And they've changed their sculpts around for like key, for key models and stuff. Like Lady J has this like katana, and she's known for having this katana. And when they switched from metal to plastic, her katana was 2 pieces, and so the blade was 1 piece, and then the handle was another piece, and so you had to glue the blade to the handle, and it was a very thin thing, and so it was like, that's gonna break no matter what, and it like you can't really pin it because it was like super small. So unless you changed where her arm was, then it was her fingers are gonna, or her sword's gonna break off. But I think they have a different sculpt for her now, and I don't think her katana is out, or at least if it is, then it's closer to her body where it's not gonna break anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Whatever this thing is looks awesome. The paint job is cool. They did a good job. This looks like it's like a mutant type thing going on, right? Like I'm getting like a mutant sort of a vibe. I don't know Malifaux. I don't know anything about Malifaux.
Yeah, so Malifaux is it's like set in like a different world. So the actual like real world exists, but then there's like this other dimension that all of these like creatures and stuff are in, and it's like a sort of like weird parallel, like very steampunky, magical, almost like Cthulhu-esque stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, this person has done a good job of like basically showing me this by having the different colors in the different parts of this creature, right? And then yet it like doesn't look wrong. I mean, it looks wrong in a way that I think it's supposed to, right?
Yeah.
Like the antlers are brown, and then it has like the blue arms.
A blue skin, glowing green eyes.
The green, yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's really cool done. Yeah.
Yeah, super cool, Cody. Little Hormigon here, underway. I like this. I like this this color palette.
Yeah, it was really cool. I also want to give a major shout out to the community because I noticed that they were kind of coaching this person on how to take a really clear, nice photo and like to clean up the background and like, you know, we're like, oh, try this lighting and stuff. So this is the result of it. And so great job, guys. I like the support from the community. I do see it and I appreciate it a lot.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice. Now you just have to do, 90 more of those guys, or 89 more. You got this. Votann, is this the last of our Votann? You said you think there were like 3?
I think this is the last one.
This might be the last of the
I think this is the
Votann.
last one, yeah.
Yeah. White. And blue. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is cool. Mm-hmm. People are doing so many different cool things with them, but I still think white is probably my favorite. White and something.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the white. I really like the ones from last week that had like the NASA decals on them. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really cool. I've seen some really cool yellow ones too. So.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen a lot of cool Votann. Kat has made me look at a lot of really cool Votann, which I can't say I'm not grateful for. But yeah, these guys look cool. I do think, yeah. Very excited to see them. More Votann. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, this is an orc. Oh, this is a squigog beast. Yeah, this looks cool. I was thrown off by like the angle of the picture.
Oh yeah, and the checkerboard stuff.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really well done.
Yeah, this looks great. This is a cool model. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. This is, again, we get these ones where we're like, just well done.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Moving on. This got, this was, I forget, oh my gosh, I forget now who sent this in. Sorry, guys. This is Slapchop, the person said. They said they filed,
Yes.
Slapchop on this. They sent this in today during our show, during the Good Talk earlier today on Tabletop Titans. And this is Slapchop, but I thought that they actually had a lot going on for that, for like they really went in.
It's all contrast paints though, so
right.
that was the thing though, and that I think is really cool when you take Slapchop and you do a little bit extra more, but it's still Slapchop. So it shows that like you can achieve a higher level of painting than just painting base coats and stuff. So yeah,
it looks cool.
Really cool.
They were pretty bold with all the different colors that they put in. Yeah.
One arm is slap, the other is chalk.
I know,
Yeah,
I like
thank
that.
you, Pat.
A little GSC. Actually, I haven't seen Gene Stealer Cults here in a while on Hobby Titans, so it's cool to see this guy. What made you pick this? What did you like about this cat?
I liked his sword a lot. Now, I think their sword is a little bit out of focus with the way that the picture's taken. Mm-hmm. But I liked the sword a lot. I also liked the work on the skin. I believe it's like some sort of like contrast paint or whatever. At least that's how it looked to me. But it was really like, it wasn't just slapped on. Mm-hmm. But I like the sword. So that was like my big pick.
Yeah, the sword is cool. The skin tone is cool. GSC is a cool army. Yeah, love this. Oh, what is going on here? Oh, this is Lady Oleander.
Yeah, this one was a work in progress, but it just flew out of the page at me, and I like the reds were so vivid. They look even more vivid on the TV, but and it's hard to tell, but all her little flowers and stuff are like a nice soft purple. And so coupled that with the very, very, very vivid red, I thought, yeah, it's Dr. Tumors.
Oh, this is yours, Dr. Tumor?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. This actually kind of reminds me of what you have going on with your Lumineth as well. I can't remember the exact color scheme, but I remember they kind of had this like dark but vivid thing going on. Maybe it's your style. Let me take a look. You know, I wonder if anybody knows the... Actually, let me look at it on the screen before I say this to make sure I'm not just totally off. Oh, yeah. Ooh, this looks great. You know, I get... it gives me... There's this game called Gloom that has like these translucent cards, and you layer them on top of each other. I get like a little... It's kind of a comedy, dark comedy game, right?
Yes.
But the color palette, the way he has the colors and everything kind of remind... I get a little bit of vibes of the artwork from that game.
Oh, fair. That game was like... Yeah.
It's like red, black, and white, right?
Yeah.
There's no... I don't think there's any purple.
No.
But it's like red, black, and white.
Yeah.
On the TV, you don't see the purple as well. The Oracle has decreed less purple, Dr. Toomer.
No. I love the purple.
Well, listen, Kat.
But to be fair, this does look really cool. It looks completely black and white, like grayscale, with like these really vivid reds. It looks super cool. But I did like the purple a lot.
It's not necessarily about liking the purple. It's about what the TV has declared.
Well, the TV is wrong.
Oh, you mean the TV? We're gonna have to have a talk after this.
That's fair. I mean,
TV, just remember I didn't say that you were wrong. Dr. Toomer, all joking aside, this looks amazing. Don't listen to the TV. Kat's right. Don't think you were going. Don't think you were going to. Don't think that was ever a concern. But this looks amazing. Some terrain.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been seeing. This has been being worked on for a while, I think. Yeah.
I liked the chipping. It was really well done.
Yeah, it is. I've painted this set before, and I'm really curious. Whoever did this, if you're around, I'm curious if you made a stencil cutout for the shape. I made a stencil cutout for the big one, not the little ones, in the top corners, but I to airbrush, or if you kind of went in there and painted all of them by hand. Because if you're like me, you probably are, because you probably bought a couple of these boxes, you might have a lot of these to do. But the chipping looks amazing. I'm wondering if you used chipping medium or if you used Aquanet.
Ooh, hairspray. Not your mother's?
Not your mother's, which is not a not your mother's joke. Also, not your mother's joke.
Right. Not your mother's Aquanet, though.
Yeah, not your mother's Aquanet. Because I've used both. I found that they were somewhat similar. I almost liked the Aquanet better than the AK chipping medium because the Aquanet was more responsive to how much water you added back into it. If that makes sense. Like, so you paint the bottom layer that you want to chip down to. Mm-hmm. Then you put either the Aquanet or the chipping layer. Mm-hmm. Right? You let that dry. Mm-hmm. Then you put the paint that you're going to have chip. And what I found was that the chipping medium was very consistent, which is good. The Aquanet allowed you to, and the chipping medium said like you might need to add a little bit of water to the top layer before you do the chipping effect. It like softens the paint a little bit.
Yeah. You need to activate it.
Yeah. The Aquanet, you could kind of like adjust the water amount a little more. Whereas with the chipping medium, what I found was that pretty much whenever you added water, it sort of did the same thing. If that makes sense. Whereas you could adjust a little bit more with the Aquanet. So I don't know. Kind of curious what this person used.
Interesting. Now, did you find that you had like a set work time with the Aquanet, or like could you continuously reactivate it?
I actually reactivated a lot of it like days later.
Okay.
And I used all Aquanet on the front terrace terrain, and previously I've used all. To be fair though, actually I don't think I ever waited that long with the chipping medium to reactivate it. So there is like this other variable going on, right? Which is that with the chipping medium, I think I did it all within a day. With the Aquanet, I kept going back to it day after day.
I see.
Yeah. I did, like, some of it was like a week later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I had to add even more water and had to scrub harder, but it always worked. It's kind of interesting. Very weird thing. Okay, last one. That was it.
Was it? No.
No?
No. Shouldn't have been.
Oh, okay. There's just like a... That was weird. Maybe one of them didn't load, Cat.
Ooh, no. I did check all of them.
Interesting.
So that's interesting.
Siege Roots. I'm not sure. We know Siege Roots. He's been around forever. I'm not sure we've ever seen any models posted by Siege Roots. This is looking great. Ultramarines. Classic red helmet.
Yeah.
Loving this. Yeah. This is nice. This is a good
very
start.
classic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Siege Roots. Awesome to see you post. I don't feel like we've ever seen anything that you've posted before.
Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
Or at least this is your first time putting your name on it.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
true.
So, thank
Congratulations. You've put your name on something. This is cool. Yeah. Keep it coming. I want to see more Siege Roots Ultramarines in my life. And oh, this is Broodlord, right? Or is this a Patriarch? I think it's called. This is the one not from Tyranids, but the one from Gene Stealer cults. Very cool. What'd you like about this one, Kat?
I like the blue skin.
Yeah, this is like a real, like almost like a version of grayscale that you and I often are into, right?
Also, the pose. Isn't this on a Skaven thing? Like that little pipe thing?
I think this is. No, I think
Because
this
it looks like a
is,
Skaven.
it does.
model to me.
It's a Gene Stealer cult Patriarch, I think.
Yeah, but if I saw this with a bunch of like Skaven,
No, there is one
Yeah.
like that guy right there, that Adrian has right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, the new assassin guy. Yeah, film noir GSC. I think so. I think that's kind of the vibe I'm getting to. Yeah, and the two fingers is very cool. Yes, like he's like psychicking up. Yeah, super cool. This is cool. I'm really into this actually. Ooh, I can't tell what these are from here. Are these Dark Reapers? Oh, these are more GSC. These are neophytes. Wow, there's a lot of GSC this week. What's going on with what's the GSC fascination out of nowhere, Cat?
ooh, I don't know.
Were there more GSC than usual, or were you just more into GSC than usual?
Probably more GSC than usual.
Okay.
So now I'm just wondering, like, what's the resurgence of people liking them?
It's always an army people love, but not a lot of people seem to play it.
Are the rules weird?
They've also had weird rules forever. And I don't even necessarily mean bad, right? Fans, they're just weird.
They're not everyone's playstyle.
I think they're not everyone's playstyle. Their playstyle is very fun. I think a lot of people would describe it as.
Okay.
I think it's easy to fail though with it.
Oh, I see.
Fun, but then you're like, this was fun. I'm definitely losing this game. You know? But wow, that was a fun way to lose. That was a fun way to lose a 40K game. Okay, now we're done. Awesome.
No, now I'm wondering, because I know Melody had one.
Oh, do you think that was the one that was?
Maybe. I'm actually going to go and look.
Go check it out, okay.
Because I double checked. I triple checked to make sure that everything loaded correctly. So I'm gonna do this really quick. I'm sorry if this messes with anything.
Messes with anything? No, it shouldn't mess with anything. Ooh, I'm on my last layer of orange, Cat. So, heads up. If you want to get to a cool stopping point when you're done there, of course. And I'm really liking the way this is coming out. Yeah.
Interesting.
In chat, as we're hanging out here, just with me, sans cat. Well, she's actually over there. She can still talk. But who's
okay.
going to SoCal? Anyone? Let me know. Love to see you. Please say hi. I will be at the Sigmar Champions. I think, kind of weird. Never got an email about. Never got an email to input my thing into Best Coast pairings. Sent an email yesterday saying so. Multiple people were like, "Hey, Zach, heard on Monday you say you're going to SoCal, but I didn't see your name in Best Coast pairings." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yep." Then out of nowhere, they were like, "Oh, wait, never mind. I saw your name in Best Coast pairings. I didn't put it there. I never registered. It's in Best Coast pairings. I can't do anything about it. I can't upload a list or anything." So I'm either taking, I guess, a red card or a yellow card, or I'm not in it, or everything's totally fine.
Wait, what?
I have no idea what's going on. I doubt anyone from Frontline Gaming is watching right now. Reese, Kicker, anyone? But if you are, I sent a couple emails. I don't know what's going on. I can't upload a list.
Weird.
Yep. I'm there. I can see my name.
Well, hopefully you don't get like penalized for anything.
It's not under my events. It's not like my name's I can go and be like, "Oh, look at this event." I see my name there, but not under my events. So I can't do anything. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to show up with an army. I'm going to email again. Just keep emailing. I'm going to drive down. I'm going to show up. The worst possible thing that can happen, Meg's going, we're road tripping down, is they're like, "Hey, Zach, you're absolutely 100% not allowed to play in this tournament because of everything that happened, and we're not giving you your money back." That would be the worst thing that would happen, and I'd be like, "Cool, gonna walk around, say hi to some fans, then go hang out in San Diego with Meg, I guess." So either way, it's a win.
Yeah. So okay. So I think I figured out what happened.
Okay.
So that cry of sadness from earlier, where I deleted everything on accident.
This was part of that?
Probably. So let's go now again to fan stuff 2.
Okay.
Now it should be towards the end. Here we go. I did it.
Oh.
Live
and
fix.
Melody did all kinds of information.
Yes. This was great. It was a collage, and it had the name of the models, and it had the name of the person who painted them, and it was fantastic, which is why I knew that this was what was missing. So
Flesh Terrors.
I am sorry, Melody, but
is
I
this a
fixed
new
it.
army for you, or have you? Is this a new army for you?
For me?
No, for Melody. I'm wondering.
Oh. Maybe, I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was really cool. It had everything that I wanted in a fan stuff submission, and that's how I knew it was missing. So yeah, I'm very sorry, Melody, but
I like this base.
I did have an instance earlier where I accidentally deleted everything from the folder.
She was distraught.
I was very sad. I was very sad. And I thought I got everything back, so I'm sorry for not checking.
Yeah, now you're 30. You don't know how to use computers anymore.
I'm not 30 yet. So I fixed it. It's great. If this ever happens again, then I don't know. I don't know. I think we're done for. But yeah. But yeah, it was so good. It was so good. It's a collage. They're beautifully painted and based, and it just, yeah, it's great. But yeah, I like the soft, like, green.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the shield, and I like the shield with the bases. I like the rim colors, Melody, not black. I love it. You know, I love me some non-black rims. Yeah, these look great. So wait, is this new army that you're painting, Melody? Let me see. It is. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yay!
Looking great. Awesome.
We did it.
Okay.
We did it.
How close are you to being done? I'm like pretty close for the night.
Yeah, pretty close.
Are you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do like the little details. I'm gonna get this guy up to the point where like I'm not gonna paint his gun or his sword or anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna get him up to the point where these guys are for the most part, and then
Oh, I see.
we're good.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm almost done.
Okay.
We can be good whenever.
Oh, okay.
Now, okay, so I am noticing that there is a metallic blue on. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's not how I thought that was painted.
What is it?
It looks like it was painted metallic first.
Oh, yes, and then
like a clear
on
top. I thought it was a blue metallic.
I think a contrast. Yes.
Yeah. So
Where is it? His head or something? I forget what
there's
we
like
did.
these little animals on them. Is that like an important thing for them? Because this guy has a dragon. This guy has like a bull. And this guy has
Let's get a little
bears.
Let's get a little shorter. Don't know the answer to these questions.
This guy has bears. Like right here. Bears. This guy has like a a bull. Like a longhorn. And then this guy has like a little dragon. Does anyone know like what's with the animals? Because that's honestly kind of like the last thing I expected.
From these like mining space tours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We should all know Games Workshop's been releasing pages upon pages of lore for this faction since January. Thank you, Michael Cody. He says, that Magnus was mine. I did that a while ago and can do better. Stripping model sucks. And I don't want two of them around. What do? Well, Melody mentioned sell the first one, buy another. Magnus is probably this model, Michael Cody, that you could just put up on eBay and probably sell off. Like
a painted Magnus.
Magnus. Yeah. Like, even if you don't think the level is that good for yourself, somebody else is good. Well, we thought it was good, so not saying that we're the arbiter of all that is good and awesome.
Well, obviously that's the monitor.
That's the monitor, exactly. So, but we do have the arbiter of all that is good and awesome here, which is the TV.
Right.
And the TV liked it, so you could definitely sell it on eBay.
See, because when it comes to like character models and stuff like that, like it's not like they have to match an army.
Magnus really doesn't match anything.
No. Yeah. So he doesn't have to match an army. So no matter what you paint him, it works, and people are going to want him.
Yeah, so, I would do her idea. Now the alternative is, sounds like you don't want to strip Magnus, but hear me out. Consider stripping Magnus. Although I don't know, that was a pretty good paint job. Consider stripping Magnus anyway, and find a new way to strip things that doesn't suck. Because there are some that suck less. They all suck. I'm lying. They all suck. But some suck less. Stripping plastic. But the other thing is that, like, well, I think, like, with plastic, I think people really freak out over how much they need to strip. Like, they want to strip. First of all, you're never going to get the primer off, right? Like, if you're trying to get the primer off, like, you don't need to, one. Especially, hopefully it was good primer. But two, it's really hard to get off. Like each layer you go deeper is harder and harder to get off on plastic. And I think people are like, oh no, I have to get the primer off. Like, I don't think you do. You can also like just go in there with a file. Again, your point, stripping model sucks. I get it. It's kind of a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm going to go with what Melody said and sell them and buy a new one. So, yeah. Well, thanks, Megan, for your super chat. Zach, do you need dinner?
Maybe something light. Like, I don't need too much. Thanks. Thanks, Meg, for the super chat. we have no, not actually, Kat, I don't know. Have you ever been in Banh Mi Club? That's me, Adrian, and Lindsay have Banh Mi Club, and we order a lot of banh mi.
I've been here once.
When we did banh mi?
Yeah.
Did you get banh mi or no?
I did. It was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, banh mi is... This is a place that's like crazy inexpensive, and it's just like, we just order it. We just like Grubhub it. Mm-hmm. It's like $8 per banh mi. They basically give you 2.
It's cheaper than the salads.
It is cheaper. It is cheaper than salads. Lindsay and I have been on a salad kick here recently. We found a good salad place. But the past, just kind of bouncing back between salads and banh mi right now. Just kind of a salad banh mi situation.
Right.
Banh mi is... No, I said that's all I had today, Melody. I had one banh mi over the whole day. And banh mi is... it's not light, but it's not heavy, right? It's not like a burger and fries or pizza or something. There's no sides, so it's just the sub. There's a lot of vegetables on it. I get these like weird pork patties, or sometimes I get the cold cut one. Lindsay gets stringed tofu. I don't really...
What's string?
I don't really ask her. I don't... I just grossed out by it.
Hey, Lindsay, what's string tofu?
Yeah, Lindsay, are you here? What's string tofu? She's described it to me before, and it sounds not great.
Oh, because I like tofu a lot, so...
Tofu can be good, right?
I don't like fried tofu.
You don't like fried tofu? What about like breaded fried tofu?
No. It's weird. I don't like it. Yeah. I also don't like inari, I think that's what it is. The little fried tofu pockets with like rice in them. I don't like that.
No, they're yucky. That's like a weird, I don't like those either. I know what you're talking about. I've gone those before being like, that might be good, and they're not. Okay. I think, can we call this?
Yeah.
Are we ready to call this?
Yeah, whenever
I'm just like, we're talking about tofu at this point, right? Okay. I'm just going to do a top-down, folks, and show you where I'm at. I've got a little bit more final coat to do with the orange. These are a team effort. I'm not going to tell you when you'll be able to see these next on Tabletop Titans, but I will say this. You guys know what day of the week new armies get released. You're going to know, I suppose, what day of the week Votann gets released. And you can rest assured we will play Votann when they get released. Amichis. Great. Thank you, Meg. Thank you, Meg.
Thanks for the support, Meg.
Meg says, I got us Amichis. Amichis East Coast Pizzeria is pretty good. So that's good, actually, because I can have a slice or two rather than feeling like I have to eat like one whole thing, right? Seedroots, excited to see you at SoCal. I don't know if I'll really be there. As mentioned earlier, my name is in Best Coast Pairings. I guess what happens is I just go up. I have to go to all my games, but I don't have a list, so I don't take an army. So I guess I just immediately lose. But I still have to go to all my games. I don't know. If that's what they make me do, I'll probably drop. I'll be honest with you guys. I hope that's not how it works. I hope I can play. I'm bringing Daughters of Cain. Well, I actually, again, currently bring nothing because can't submit a list in the Best Coast Pairing. But I'll be bringing Daughters of Cain, but I'm not going to bring Marathi, and we're just going to see what happens. So no Marathi, Daughters of Cain. We'll see. I think it's going to be fun.
Why aren't you bringing Marathi?
She costs a lot of points and takes up a lot of your army. And you just get a lot more, and I just want to try something different, I guess. Honestly, I just want to try something different is the big thing. Like I get to play with a lot more models without having her.
Yeah.
And the list seems really scary without her. Like I was just like, God, I keep adding things once you take her away. So It's pretty interesting. Okay. We should call this.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's have a look.
Oh.
I think this view is going to be the best. And you can tell us what's left.
So
Probably for Adrian.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so obviously the swords and the guns. His face, for the most part, is pretty much done. Oh, he doesn't have any eyebrows. Honestly, I don't think he needs eyebrows. I think he's fine.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks.
But yeah, because I think a no eyebrow look thing is now like really in.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I'll ever shave off my eyebrows. But yeah, I think a lot of people are shaving off their eyebrows.
Is that a thing you're saying just because you're 30 now?
No. I think Bella Hadid like shaved off her eyebrows recently.
Okay.
I don't know. I saw like this like clickbaity article of like, are no eyebrows now in? And it's like maybe for these supermodels, sure. Anyway, Meg wants to know what time she needs to come get you. But you can think about that. Obviously, the sword and the gun need to be painted. I started on the metallics, but didn't finish them. And then the weathering and stuff and the base. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and the rest of the cape, too. It's just blue.
We don't know quite what's going on next week. Might be more Votann. Who knows? But
all I know is I'm going to be old, and I'm very excited.
yeah, you're gonna be in your 30s.
I'm very excited.
Happy birthday, Kat.
Thank you.
And I think that's everything.
Yeah. Wish you luck in SoCal.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if I even get to play.
I'm sure you'll get to play.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. As we like to say, be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves, and always be creating. See you guys next week.